You're on.
All right. Go ahead and open yours. All right. Welcome, everyone. It is October the 7th at 6:09 p.m. and we're live on the YouTube channel and all here present and accounted for with a joint session tonight with our commissioners. I appreciate you guys taking time to meet with us. During budgeting, we just had some questions come up that we was hoping to sit down with you guys and maybe get some answers to or shed some light on how we should move forward with the budget for certain things. So with that, all the council's present tonight, and I'm going to know you, man.
All right, this is the beginning of our meeting as well, joint session. If everybody will please stand, we'll say the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dear Heavenly Father, please watch over all of us while we're trying to make decisions for the county. Give us good heads and good suggestions. Thank you for everything you've done for us, Lord. In Jesus Christ, name we pray. Amen.
Thank you for that, Mr. Thomas. So I guess if you guys want to, these were the questions that we emailed out just so that you were aware of kind of where we were headed. But the first one was on the area plan director position or that office. Ms. Turner had sent a email asking if she could be here to speak on behalf of it since she's the one currently doing it, maybe some ideas or something to do with that office. So if you guys are good with it, do we want to hear what she has to say? Go ahead.
Well, my suggestion was to put both jobs together, that the one that I'm currently doing as a cartographer and the area plan with a part-time person, maybe a 3-day-a-week part-time person. That way that person wouldn't have a benefit package. And then you're saving the $36,000 for the salary and the 3-day-a-week part-time person, because I have been here enough to have 4 weeks vacation. So I'll need someone as a backup and to help with getting materials ready for meetings. You know, I haven't done that yet. I'm in the process of preparing for one right now. I've done 21 permits since I started, so 2.5 weeks. We processed 21 permits so far, and that's all gone great. Everybody's been real happy, and they understand the transition. I mean, with being here for 30 years, I've I know the verbiage, I know some of the processes. I've helped train the last 2 directors. So I think that even though I don't know a whole lot about the ordinances yet, the variances yet, and how to process everything, at least I know some of the processes and I'm doing some of the processes. Everything has gone real well. And then 2, if I have a part-time person, like I said, that's a benefit package that you wouldn't have to pay. So that's saving anywhere from $9,000 to $12,000 at least a year, plus the $36,000 as a salary. Now, when I started 30 years ago, the cartographer was on the commissioner's budget. It was paid through the commissioner's budget. And I couldn't tell you when, it was when Patty Williams was the cartographer, is when they switched and they needed a part-time person for her. That part-time person was an auditor's second deputy. So I believe that there's still an auditor second deputy / cartographer assistant job description. So they hired that person, I believe it was Tammy Johnson at the time, as a backup assistant to Patty. And then she was also a floater in the auditor, recorder, and treasurer's office. So that person was a full-time person, but that was her job title, was a auditor, second deputy / cartographer assistant. And I believe that's when the cartographer went under the auditor's salary. So it would probably make sense to put it back under the commissioner's budget, since the area plan director is under the commissioner's budget and you might even want to keep both descriptions in case when I'm not here or whatever, you might want to split it back up. I don't know how that would work exactly, but to go ahead and do that, and I would request the part-time person. But, I mean, if you have any questions, I don't know how all the logistics would go, but.
I just put up, that's a glimpse of the 25 budget that was passed for area plan, just so if anybody has questions, kind of where that office is in itself. The one thing I would say is if we removed Stacy from the auditor's office, I don't know my next to you, I apologize, but she definitely is gonna have to have that body or position refilled in some form or fashion. So I guess my biggest thing is, I think, and I hope we can open this up a little bit where whoever can jump in, but whatever makes the most sense and works for everybody, I'm good with.
Yeah,
But
because Jennifer would definitely need another person. She would need that position back that she lost last year. And I would request a little more money to do both jobs.
But it'd still be cheaper.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
because you're
paying
thinking
benefits for somebody.
$36,000 for the
I mean,
salary.
that one's
That's
that.
anywhere from $9,000 to $12,000 on your benefits package, because just the employee part of just
Cartographer,
medical, vision, and dental is anywhere from
36,573.
$350 to
so if it's,
$1,200 a pay period, depending on what type, and that's just the insurance, that's just medical insurance. That's not the.
But you'd still be full-time,
I would, yes.
but we wouldn't have to have another full-time one, that's why we.
Well, Jennifer's position.
You would in my office.
that's the cartographer's salary right there is
Replace the position
36,573.
she lost
Yeah.
last year.
Yeah.
Or
And
at
then I was
least,
gonna bounce back to the
I don't
area
know
plan.
how she would want to
If
do
you
it,
want some of
but
those numbers,
she would
Greg.
at least need a 4-day-a-week part-time person.
Sure, he has to come down the line.
Without, you know,
35.
do the benefit package. Because we have noticed since I took over the interim, at least 50% of the calls, the walk-ins are gonna be cartographer area plans. So if I go downstairs, I'm taking probably about 50% of the walk-in and the calls. But she's, then I help with the tax sale stuff, of course, helping with the counter and the telephone calls, when people going to lunch and that on vacation.
Yeah.
So, but if I'm doing both jobs, there's no way I can do it in the auditor's office. I'm gonna have to be downstairs where I can concentrate on that stuff. Because
So you want to move it all downstairs?
Both of those
Yeah,
salaries
I
combined
would.
is 70.
it's just so busy in there. I mean, a lot of conversations going on all the time, because I mean, it's the hub. It's the HR, it's the payroll, it's the claims, it's, it's the budget, so
Yes.
that office is
That is.
constantly, there's people in and out, and,
Well, we don't have to specify.
I mean, I draw in subdivisions, I have to, and address the subdivisions and all that, I'm gonna have to
Well,
concentrate
mine was,
on.
I'm wondering what we would have to do if you went down there and let's work with the commissioners or however you said that.
Well,
Well, we have to
that was,
reappropriate money different ways or?
now that's a logistics question that I don't know, but I do know when I started, the cartographer was paid in the commissioner's budget until that part-time person was added.
Well, I like the idea of being less money.
Yeah,
Exactly what our, yeah, we all would, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know exactly how we would.
How much money, I'm sorry if this was asked, I was talking to Zach, but how much money are we talking? How much are you requesting?
That's what my question.
well, 10,000
So you're looking at 40.
Just 10,000 a year? That's cool.
extra.
Oh, no.
So you're looking to go from.
Yeah, I'm glad you see all that.
Okay. They're good.
And then what do you pay your full-time people, Jen?
And honestly, that's a
Yeah,
benefit
you want her
package.
at 36, whoever you
Or
have.
at least we're talking more.
38 more.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
If you look at
36,573.
insurance,
Hers is listed.
what the county puts in as far as retirement and all, all benefits, that would be a benefit
What
package.
that goes, this thing.
If she's gonna do that.
What about drainage board? Are you gonna remain on that? You get a
Whatever
stipend for that, right?
Whatever you all want me to do, or if I can do it. I mean, it all
Well,
kind
she-
of ties in, honestly.
She serves on the drainage board and that has a $1,200 a year stipend, so I'm just
I
trying to
don't think
play.
I think it's like 4, for me,
Right now.
Okay.
3 or 4, I'm not sure exactly.
We,
Yeah.
I mean, I think you served well on that board because obviously you know, you have that information and you know what you're doing, and to take you off of there, then that would just be more trial and error for somebody else to try to catch up with that.
Well, and that's kind of where I am with the area plan director,
Mhm.
because, I
Do you
mean,
think this is
Jenny
right?
Bingley and I have dealt with the last 2, and
Tuesday and Thursday and then Saturday.
myself just, that's my thought process, I mean,
This is the regular.
Well, you're already doing
transfer stuff.
registering where everything's going anyway, being a photographer. But, and if you're given the permits, that also gives you the heads up as where that property's gonna be at.
Yeah. And honestly, when I started too, 30 years ago, the cartographer took every survey and approved it. They signed off on it before it went to the recorder. That process got eliminated. So when I get a survey from the recorder's office, I'm looking at it now, it's kind of backwards. So I'm looking at it now, and then I'll tell the area plan director, hey, this already has 4 splits on it. Our county ordinance, you can only have 4 splits in the county. Look at this before a deed comes through, so I'm always telling them anyway, and like finding stuff before they get it to give them a heads up to do it anyway. So kind of like all goes hand in hand anyway.
Yeah, it'd be more efficient just to combine that. I totally agree.
So,
I'd like to take a minute and hear from Jennifer. Jennifer, what,
Well,
Do
I'm
you-
gonna have to have another person.
yeah, I think definitely.
There's just no way that cannot be done. Truthfully, if we could do that and still keep some of the part-time.
so do you need another person anyway, without
Probably.
her in the office, correct?
Which we talked about.
So are
budget
you
of making sure-
needing 1.5 people? Are you needing one person will take care
Can
of
we
it?
go ahead and budget it like, we'll put in another cartographer in there, and I can take some of the part-time out if we're gonna, well, no, I'd rather not. Actually, I'd rather not take part of the part-time out. I'd like to budget it like one full-time person with a package, and then leave the part-time, and we'll go from there. And there might be some things I can tweak and make better.
Because the
Would you
cartographer,
name it a cartographer or a second deputy?
It'd be like a second deputy,
And
but
how,
I just wanna keep that pay scale in here.
how much would
Okay.
you want for part-time? Right now, I think you have like 3,500 or
She's
something.
saying
Yeah.
10,000 more for the,
Well, I
No,
don't
she
know
said
about-
10,000 more for her salary.
okay.
What about for the
I would
part-time?
like a 3-day-a-week part-time person,
At how much an hour?
whatever the base is right now.
They
I
make
think it's 11.7.
1839 down there. That's what Marty was
We're
making.
kind of letting every
Oh,
department
well, I
set
mean,
what they
we
need
could go
right
with
now.
whatever a part-time scale is, I think it's 11 something.
1172, I think,
1187.
1187.
So we did 1187 and we did,
Times 8, that's 94.96 a day, times 3 days a week, so
It's
times
set.
52 weeks, about 14,813,
It's 21 hours a week, it'd be 21 hours.
21.
Because it's 7 hours a day.
so that's a week, that was 52, you're talking $13,000 roughly,
Yeah,
for sake of math.
so
So if you took her current salary combined with area plan, those two salaries together are 71,626. Add 10,000 to hers, that brings her to 46,573. And if you had a $13,000 person down there, that would roughly
it'd
save
be at
you.
96, no,
it would save 25,053 minus $12,000 a year in combining those jobs. Then
I
you
don't
have
know if the
to
salary plus
fund-
benefit package, but then you'd have the savings of the benefit package on top of that.
so.
Actually, you don't.
Okay. I didn't
Because
know
if you
that was
leave, yeah, if we
included.
leave yours full-time and mine, that'll be just the same as you're there. And then you're gonna move down, basically you would be,
Right.
Well,
the area
my
plan
salary
person.
is a little different than your second deputy's salary.
A
Like
little-
Shasta's
Yeah,
salary,
just a
Right.
little,
yeah.
just a little bit.
But like you were saying at the beginning.
And then you hire another person for Jennifer's office, starting at the,
30.
You're gonna be about 96,000 between Jennifer's office, area plan commission / photographer, and the, part-time. So gonna be about $96,000
For everything. If you,
for all three of those positions.
you gotta consider,
She's doing double positions, so it's really 3 positions and a part-time.
but you have some currently
Yes,
budgeted.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. If you have,
There's a little bit budgeted for a part-time, but like you said,
it's gonna
it's,
cost you about $20,000 more because you gotta increase
Probably
her
about
salary 10,000 and
$20,000
then
more
up the part-time
to add a
about
person,
and
9,000.
Jennifer has a
combine this
small
stuff all together and add
part-time
one
salary
back.
too. They're both very small, but
so this attempt to save money has cost us $20.
You're gonna add something to her office regardless.
We
I
had,
think.
we were gonna have to add to Jennifer anyway. I mean, we already, that's been discussed.
In some form or fashion, I think that's been talked about.
Yeah.
Now, whether it's funded or not, that's, obviously the line in the sand there, but I think Stacy's just trying to present an option that would be cheaper than hiring a brand new person that doesn't know anything about area plan to come in and start it off. So it's just my intent to just throw out some options and hopefully. we can-
and like I said, I don't know all the logistics, so if you have other questions, I'll try to answer.
My biggest question was what would be the ramifications if we
Well,
did
that's
it
what
that way?
I said, you might want to leave both job descriptions.
I mean, that's
Leave
been
it
my
as
biggest,
both just job descriptions, and I'm doing kind of both job descriptions.
Yeah.
And that way, like I said, if you ever want to break it apart again later, you could. I mean, that's a thought, if that's legal. I don't know.
so a photographer doesn't have to be in your office.
No.
It
I thought-
wasn't when
I
I
thought it
started.
was.
No.
Okay.
Actually, they were in the security room when we came over here for years. Of course, it was over here in this part of the old part of the building before we moved back in the new building. It was Carol Weaver for years and years and years.
What would be the odds of finding somebody capable of doing both of those positions?
Well, that's what I'm saying,
Well-
probably leave both job descriptions.
Say something was to happen to you.
Right.
I don't like building jobs around that person.
Right, and that's another reason I'm asking for a part-time. So somebody will be trained, somebody will know. Right now, no one knows, no one knows.
Are you gonna try to train them in both?
Yeah. They'll have to help me in both areas a little.
Taking photography.
And that would be great because we've got caught time and time again here.
Yeah.
Yes, we have.
Because of
Do
that.
that would help you
And like right now, no one
build.
knows it at all.
Yeah.
And I'm learning as I go. I'll guarantee everybody in this room, there's a bunch of it I don't know yet. I haven't looked at the ordinance books yet. I don't know about the variances yet. I'm learning as I go. I about got a system down with the permits and they're going pretty smooth, but I don't know. I haven't even been able to get down to that office yet, just because, I think when she left, Ben told me it was about 1 a week. I've had 21 in 2.5 weeks.
Two compaction units.
So, and I got 2 subdivisions on the horizon.
And I know how valuable you are in there as well, from a photographer
Very much,
standpoint.
very much
I
so,
mean,
yes.
even when I was at NDOT, I've called you asking, tracking, is this a legal drain, or trying to find and dig through old plans. And I couldn't imagine calling up here and trying to get that information with nobody that knows what they're talking about. So, I mean, the value of you being able to just train somebody else in that position, if you was to move on, would be valuable for us, because we just don't have that luxury.
Well, and to build off of that, Greg, I think if you were to take the cartography aspect away from Jennifer's office, that would allow whoever she was to hire to do more audit related things, with
Tax
the
stuff,
bills
tax
coming in, the
stuff.
taxes, bills in, bills out, which is
I
what
agree.
she does. Maybe it would streamline things and make things better
I agree.
and easier.
I agree.
So, ultimately, I don't have a vote on how to fund it, but I think it's decent to brainstorm and look at ideas and pour into a longtime employee that we have in the county. That has good
Still
knowledge.
have to advertise and all that stuff, wouldn't
That job position's already been advertised for, and there have been 2 applicants. So once we iron out the, job description, it'll just be a matter of interviewing.
voting on?
All right. Well, has anybody got anything else? That avenue?
We have that. You can look at it. I'll make you a copy.
Okay.
We're still.
Yeah, I have it. Yeah.
Does anybody have anything else?
Sure.
Stay
Well,
tuned.
I'm assuming that the application or what got advertised does not include a
Cartography,
photographer.
right.
It's
It was the area plan.
what this area plan.
That's right.
Or there was rumor at one time of maybe area plan and then adding to that salary and making them part-time to float around to help some people.
Yeah.
I don't,
Well,
I
I'm
think
not sure
there's been
that was
different
a verification. It was just a,
Oh, there's been a lot of.
their conversation or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's all this is tonight, is just brainstorming on what's the best way to move our county forward that we can
We're
afford.
trying to figure out what
Yeah.
money we're putting where.
Yeah.
And we appreciate your input. Stacy.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
And I'm still trying to sort out whether it's saving us money or not.
No,
Well,
no.
Based
but
on what you
it's
guys
still
have
a
said.
position that-
No.
But it is gonna,
But if you
Do
hire
something
3
with them.
full-time jobs
Mhm.
How
with
much,
3 benefit packages, you
if
would.
it's not saving us money, then it's costing us money. How much?
so
Well,
here's
I don't know.
the
If you look
number.
at 3 full-time positions with 3 benefit packages compared to 2 full-time positions, 2 benefit packages and a part-time person, it has to save money.
Well, and I like the idea of what you're doing here, but that's just the answer to me, and we gotta answer.
Well, so the numbers I'm looking at, I didn't mean to cut you off, I'm sorry, I'm not back to you, I feel weird. Usually I'm looking down, but area plan director is $35,053 a year. Cartographer currently is $36,573. You add those 2 together, you get $71,626. So that's the number of these 2 positions. If you combine them, she's asked for $10,000, which I would say is probably reasonable to do double with knowledge to begin with. So that would put her salary at $46,573, leaving $25,053 out of that $71,000. Well, then if you take her 13,000 request for part-time, and that would leave you $12,053 out of the 25 that was extra to fund a position in her office back at the same amount she's currently making. We would add $24,520.
So in your
So
estimation, it's
ultimately-
gonna cost us $25,000.
Ultimately, it's gonna cost us 25,000, or you hire all these new people and training and everything else, it'll cost you way more than that.
It could cost the county a lot more, because it could cost us business at some point.
And that's a very good point too. If you can't get a building permit,
And you have somebody out of our knowledge doing not 1 but 2 jobs in the same office.
But
So that
also,
votes
you gotta
everything.
look at it as if you're hiring a cartographer, an area plan director, and a second deputy auditor. What's a second deputy auditor? they would all three have a benefit package. You see what I mean?
And that's what,
Yeah.
it is an increase over last year, but last year there was a person unfunded in my office. And it's left us very
35,
short,
right?
yeah,
It was at 35,000 anyway.
with a benefit package. so.
Yeah. And so, I mean, I don't know, ultimately, this, I think, falls to you guys, but there's a lot of numbers involved too, and I think that is a good time to have that discussion to figure out, whatever, but I don't think they're allowed to like formally offer a job or say that's what we're gonna do
Especially if two more people are.
if other people have applied.
Well, I guess you guys need to decide, do you wanna go ahead and budget as if it is, or you wanna do an additional appropriation at the first of the year and amend the salary ordinance?
Well, we've already had a budget, we can always just amend it the first.
Yeah, well, I mean, I hate to, especially because of the bottom line that you guys are at, when we go through the budget, for us to make all these changes that we don't know what the commissioners are gonna do. So you can always amend and additional appropriate to move some lines. I mean, Area Planning Commission already has a director line and already has a part-time line, so that's really just a matter of additional
Well, you got-
appropriations. The auditor's office would be more deleting the cartographer line, adding a second deputy
Just
line, and just
basically,
moving
Which
the
would
money.
be a
Changing the
wash
name.
pretty much.
it's just
Yeah.
like changing the name on it,
Yeah,
pretty much.
yeah.
And you guys are here tonight, commissioners, to offer your kind of informal support for one solution versus another, to maybe give the council a heads up about what they should expect to budget. If it doesn't work out that way and the council has to do something different, I think we can address that. But my understanding is you guys are looking for some guidance on what the commissioners would like to do with particular positions, right?
Yes.
So probably now is your all's time to talk.
Well, I mean, me personally, I'm all right with the job description that Stacy has laid out. My biggest concern was I wanted to make sure that I'm not,
Taking away.
for lack of a better word, messing Jennifer's office up in the process of doing this. But it sounds like we're not.
Right.
So,
So with what Zach's saying, with the expectation, I mean, the expectation for me is to get that person that you need and combine those positions that Stacy is already doing with her part-time. That would be my expectation.
I think Stacy did a good job laying it out, and I would agree. To combine the positions.
And for me, on the council, I would commit to the position in your office because I don't think you can function without it.
It's gonna stay basically where we're at.
And I think removing the cartographer duties would, it's gonna be different for a while, but I think it would ultimately streamline things a little bit to help you. Maybe removing the people needing that work, like Greg said, he called in needing right of ways and things, that would ultimately just ring to that other office and keep yours more streamlined to property taxes and bills and claims and such.
It's gonna take that traffic away from you.
Yeah.
It definitely make nice to go to one office and get all your information instead of going up and down these steps.
Yeah.
And we've tried to figure out how to add that back to Jennifer's office for the last year and a half anyhow, because we never intended on removing that. When we done that, we intended on replacing it then.
And changing it.
It just didn't
Something
happen.
different. So for me, my vote would be to definitely,
So you're doing
fund the
that,
position for you.
you're doing that $36,000 position in her office for $25,000, basically.
Basically.
So, I mean, it is adding a position, but it's not costing us as much as we intended on trying to come up with anyhow.
If the job when they interview, they have somebody that comes up with a
Yeah.
photographer /
Right.
area plan commission.
And ultimately, if they took,
Are you guys gonna amend?
if
your-
we kept the cartographer and hired a new area plan and they wanted to add additional duties, they would want additional pay. So your 71 would go up instead of any kind of savings, you'd be out more money. Just, that's, I mean, I think,
Especially during,
And
yeah.
re-advertise, right?
Because you don't have margin like you used to.
That's exactly what I want to do.
So
I just think she's an-
we'll have to change, do we need to change our job description and put it out in the paper and then also put the amount of money that the job pays?
I didn't put the amount of money, how much the job paid before. I feel like if they wanted to know that, that's something they would ask.
Do we have to change,
Can you
put the
combine
cartographer on there?
the two without re-advertising?
I mean, I think that you can always basically say that you have a preference for
Gotta do it.
moving her position, right, combining and moving her position downstairs. My understanding is then we would be putting that under the commissioners.
Which is what
Okay.
area plan is.
So essentially, we're not
Right.
creating a position, we're not, she's just gonna go downstairs. We will advertise
For
position openings in the auditor's office for the vacancies that are created by her transfer over and for the
Which would just change
Well,
to,
I guess we're wondering what happens with when she's already advertised that you have,
well, I mean, you
Interview
can
set
always reject all applicants,
right, right.
and move on to a new format, if that is something that you as a board decide to do.
Yes.
and as far as
I did have a concern about that.
the cartographer line changes to second
Yeah, it
day,
would be a whole new job.
you already have part-time, we've talked about that. She already has part-time in that budget,
So that
so,
would be a
Move
whole
her
new.
part-time
Again, I think under
13,
the
I mean, I
idea.
think the only thing you're
And
gonna
if you're
do
director to
is,
46.
yeah,
And then Jennifer, you just need to take out the photographer and the second deputy.
Change
You'd have to-
the
you'd have to- you'd have to-
Well, we're
adding more duties.
Yeah, I'll advertise everything in my office.
Especially the area plan director.
No, I think what we would do is change where it says director of area plan commission, director / photographer, and change that from the 35 to the 46, 40, whatever, 46, 563, or whatever. And then on her part-time line, we'd have to increase that to about 13,000.
But we would move her pay to under the commissioners
Yeah.
instead of.
It's
all
an
of
area plan.
this already-
It's an area plan, I just mean it's a commissioner based.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
area plan's already
And
there.
then Jennifer,
just
we
under
would just
commissioners.
rename photographer to second deputy.
Well, I'm just trying to figure out where to move this money from here to what line I'm putting, that's all I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
Make sure I don't put. the
Well,
same
you're
money
putting
in
some in
spots.
area plan commission, which has its own budget under the commissioners, and then you're changing some things in Jennifer's budget in auditors.
Okay.
And the little leftover from my area plan, does it go, can we move it to next year from this year
What,
What
to
left,
help fund?
what
No,
left?
it'll go,
What, from no one being in
Area
the
plan
spot?
directors.
it'll go to what Jennifer's other position that they're trying to do.
Hang
You're
on, wait,
talking about
can we-
since nobody's in there
It'll
now,
revert
that
back
just
to
reverts
general.
back to the
Yeah,
general
sorry, it
fund,
just
yeah.
goes straight back to the general. We can't roll over annual amounts that are not used.
That's right.
So,
There is a savings.
That's what I did.
do that now.
No,
But
there's been
you don't
nothing.
wanna discuss that, because I'm gonna have to advertise if you want to, which means all I got's November, December.
Yeah.
Basically,
Yeah, we certainly need to do that.
Because we're combining
Yeah, that's under,
GIS.
I'll have to ask that for. for the-
Position
some
with
type of
this
contract.
position. Okay,
No,
the one thing that I would change is I would add a section in the new job description.
And I'm sure you probably
It
did some
says
stuff
that-
to help Jennifer now besides all of them.
Oh, yeah.
The incumbent
Left in the.
reports directly to the area plan commission and board of county commissioners and serves at their direction.
I'm sure
Yes, you could. And pay her what's
You
left
would
from
essentially
Missy's salary.
move her downstairs,
You wanna see what's in there?
and then you would
You wanna look at that?
re-advertise positions for the vacant that was created in Jennifer's office. I don't think, if the question is, can you skip like a generic hiring process because you've decided to do something that you don't normally do, which is move a pre-existing employee into a new position and combine a lot of duties, I don't see any problem with that. That, you don't have to, but you can do that.
So then I think
Getting
you
it where
keep
they are.
the better.
Because really, you just basically.
Yeah,
add more duties.
Would be when they.
We would be,
Discretion of.
What?
Additional duties as-
Well, actually.
It's what the catch-all.
Yeah, I seen that.
I
I had
just
to
now
come up with
noticed
a
that.
different.
But we wouldn't
Yeah,
have
I seen it earlier.
the vacancy.
That she can leave.
Transferring.
People.
I'd love to have her.
Yeah, that's good.
But she's older too, so I.
Okay.
See,
I'm
you know, I
just
don't
thinking
know.
There will be a
Do
spot
that.
about, it's like, yeah,
No, because she only does.
and I'm sure some people will see it that way anyway.
From
Maybe.
there,
That's what I'm trying to get at.
So it's like,
Randy, the,
But she's older, so I don't know.
if the
if we
question
do
is,
that, or if I wanna get
can
someone
you,
younger so I can train.
again,
So whatever
If
you
you
want.
want to do more.
if the council are willing to,
Go.
they're gonna do this appropriation,
Just
just got
the process, I'm in the process.
area
I
plan
mean, we
budget.
She
could.
knows the computer
She's
system,
agreeable
she knows the
to-
software.
Like I said, that may
We
be.
can
Essentially relinquishing control of her employee that deals with
I have a fundraiser.
cartography. We're gonna create a whole new position, and you would like to fill it with her downstairs.
Well,
I get this
when you all
already,
said, you know.
And essentially, we'll need a new, I guess, second deputy position over here.
Years and years.
So you can decide to do that, right?
She knows,
Okay.
because
Yeah.
So legally, we're
started
okay.
in the
Yeah.
recorder's
Okay.
office.
All right.
I think that the
That's,
new,
that's the budget.
the new job description needs to say, it's, there needs to be something in there that says,
Anyway, so she would.
like right now, it says,
Sharon, can we bump November's back a week to the 18th?
We'll do that for the council meeting.
I'm gonna go ahead.
right now it says incumbent reports directly to the area plan commission.
That allows you also to get everything
Count that
advertised.
on sentence.
November.
Says.
Veterans Day is the day of our normal meeting. You guys good with moving it to the 18th, which is bumping back a week or up a week, same date, same time? Just
I'm saying probably just,
Where we at in the,
just move it
payroll
November
process.
18th. Do you have
When's-
anything?
that'd be better.
When's everybody got paid?
I watched that an operation.
They got paid last Friday, and they get paid again next
Okay.
Friday.
So we've
We'll come to
already
your
paid
house.
out.
When is the opportune time to move some?
We got bring,
Let me ask
we got
that.
bring our.
I got a dollar.
Hold on, guys. Hold on.
We can find a way out.
I think it's, yeah, nobody hears.
I
We'll
can't
start getting yelled at.
This Friday, this Saturday will actually be the end of a paid period.
Okay.
Yeah,
But if we're good with that, we'll do your November.
we were talking about maybe whatever's left over,
Oh,
and then how we
But we're not
cut
gonna be
that
able to fund
up
the part-time
with
or anything like that.
Stacy.
because-
Okay.
Not,
Well,
So I'm
no,
gonna
we
try
still-
to,
we have like
compensated her.
3,200.
I'm gonna try to pull this together here real quick, reel this in. Um,
Carmen as well.
At this time,
I think we would.
I think we could make a vote that if Jennifer is okay with relinquishing the cartographer job out of her office, we can, from my understanding, we can legally just move, just move her on down to the office and give her that position
Well, that's gonna,
without hiring.
that's gonna leave.
You
That's
need,
gonna leave me a hole until I can get. somebody.
you're going to have to advertise.
But we're saying effective January 1st, right? Or are we saying?
I think that's probably the best way to do
Yeah.
it.
We don't have a position created, we don't have, I mean, I understood as today,
I can stay in the auditor's office until she fills a position, so she's not left short.
She doesn't have the funding
Well, we just
appropriated to
don't-
fill that
we don't
position
have the
because
funding
you're using
in
that.
those
and-
positions, we don't have
Yeah,
the
there's not-
positions created. Tonight, what I thought was just about planning the future, 2026. Put this out there so that when you all go do your salary ordinance, go do your budget, you know where their heads are at. I mean, I think you can say, that's what we want to do. Greg brought up a good point earlier about, obviously you've been doing additional duties, and we do have some funds that are there that are not being used by a full-time area plan director because we don't have one right now. And I know that the city has assisted us a lot.
Yes, yeah.
So we might need to talk about what do you want to do. So if you want to talk about something in 25, I'd say focus on that. All this discussion, in my opinion,
Is for
26.
is for 26.
There's about 9,000
There's
left
a
in that.
$9,043 is what's in
Okay,
that line
the only
right
thing
now.
I would add to that is, with being up here, I really can't be down there too. I can't fully like go down there, investigate, learn all the ordinances, get all that. I can keep up with the permits and stuff with being in this office and doing, helping here too.
Yeah.
So I don't feel like I can give everything to the director position.
Until January 1st. I get it.
Okay.
And I don't know that that's something that,
No one is complaining yet. I mean, I'm keeping up with everything, but I don't want anyone to get aggravated because I just, like, I'm just telling everybody, I don't know the answer yet. I'll get you an answer soon as I can. And they've been real cooperative.
and I think
But-
Carla is doing a little bit more than she would normally do to help from like the legal services side. And that's a good point too. So,
Because I can't
but it
really.
would, I think what I'm trying to say is what we're talking about doing right now, it requires a couple things. It would require you guys to go notice an additional appropriation, and maybe you'd be de-appropriating from some location in one budget and appropriating in another budget. But then we would also need to do a approved job description for the combined,
Mhm.
okay?
Right.
And all that would have to be in place before she could officially take over those duties full-time.
Question.
And we can't leave Jennifer high and dry.
So to facilitate some of that, could or would you be willing to work any like overtime, Saturdays, evenings, whatever? Then you could be paid out of, this and allowed to have access to that office to investigate, do that. She has some part-time money. There's part-time money there. We could use both of those to let her, once they get the job description, it's a lot of moving parts, but fund a person to get trained so that Jennifer's not stuck when you walk out the door. And then,
Yeah, I don't wanna do that.
and then,
You know.
yeah, and nor do we.
I think they're just trying to find a way to use
Does
the
that
money
sound
that's already
reasonable?
appropriated. Because at this point in time, if we had to do an additional appropriation, it wouldn't be till
Yeah.
November at least.
Yeah.
So you're talking a month. It seems
By
like
the time
it's
it's
easier
enacted, it's
to
almost
wait till
over.
January one to
saving
make
30
these changes and then try to figure out what's still left and so we don't have to be doing additional
Yeah, I
appropriations
mean, I
waiting a
don't care
month.
to do whatever I can to help both officers.
And I think Jennifer's on board with that too, of like, same thing, but that would, using the technical part-time money that's down there and hers would probably pay an employee to come in and be hired as a second deputy till the end of the year. Then using the chief deputy line that's sitting there would pay you and maybe Carmen through the end of the
Because
year.
Carmen, this time, last time, she kind of worked, she would work on her permits and then work on ours,
Yeah.
kind of sign both together. Now she's working on mine at night and on the weekends.
Well, I mean, we have also that part-time that hasn't been anything
And
spent out of
she has
it.
part-time also. That's what I'm saying. Use both of those and that chief
I think
deputy.
that the commissioners, just the way I understood it was the commissioners want to make sure something was paid to Carmen.
Yeah.
And then
And I
there's
agree with that
another
100%.
Yeah.
I
And
think,
she's been super.
Yeah, she has.
I think we have,
She's a blessing.
we have money to do, a reasonable, I don't think we can buy her a new Escalade tomorrow, but we could give her something reasonable. And same with,
And I know she's
Stacy, I think she
keeping track of
deserves
her
something for
hours.
what she's done. And then find money to be able to, as soon as you can get a job description for a second deputy, which we have, post that, let you pick who you want, or move around in your office, because it does pay a little bit more maybe.
Some of my job descriptions as well.
Yeah. So whichever, but I think there's money there, and if it requires advertising and us doing it, that's fine.
We say,
Transfer, yes, yes. No additional, just transferring money
We say there's
around.
money there, but do we know what we're gonna do?
It sounds to me like, are you just gonna give them the discretion to pay?
As long as they don't go over them numbers, and you
We
can get
watch
them the
that,
numbers
yeah.
too.
Jennifer's got some
And give you
part-time,
guys
we've got
an
the rest of the
idea.
executive.
I mean, you're
director,
looking at-
we've got the rest of the part-time. It's all under personnel.
Her, right there's $12,000, and you've got another
4,000.
4 in yours, so we've got $16,000 to work with to do all these moves.
We need to make sure the salary ordinance though, for
That's what we're gonna have to, look at, because right now, I would have to hire somebody at 1187.
And that's,
We'll need to change that.
we can advertise that though for.
Well, we'll need to make sure if we're taking her salary up to account for both positions, that that's also changed on the salary ordinance. Now, I think Carmen, you could just take out of that part-time and pay her based on the hours she worked or something
Do what?
as a contractor, because she's not really an employee. With employees, you gotta do salary ordinances.
Flip the switch to cool and
Yeah.
push the black button on the top, Zach.
Or take your jacket off.
He is not gonna do that. Push the black.
Maybe take the vest off.
All right,
Do some side.
I don't want to break anything.
you good, Randy? You know what all we're doing, clear as mud?
Yep. No,
How many positions for
One.
Jennifer, just one?
Changing, basically
So basically going
changing
from 3 to 2 positions.
the cartographer to, yeah, basically changing her from a cartographer to a second deputy is what she's gonna do.
I have not got, would you just ask me?
We sent the
So,
combined job.
I think I
Because
have
when I
one
tried to
more
do it, they were both full-time jobs.
What's that?
I said, you gotta tell me how
So,
to do that.
like right now, I'm just gonna do,
We'll have to
my
take,
main focus is cartographer, right? And then keeping up with everything, area plan, and as it comes.
Yeah.
Not really,
And I think, I mean,
is that?
if something comes up area plan wise, you're gonna have to run through these guys. If
Well,
something
I mean,
comes up money wise,
I'm gonna do the meetings, so I don't know what I don't know, I guess I
I
should
think-
say. I don't know what would come up that I wouldn't really know yet, but
I think for the
I'll
area,
just take it as it comes, is that
I
right?
think for the area plan, if there is a question about like, if you get overwhelmed, okay? I think at that point, you're gonna have to turn to, probably the president of the board for area plan and or, Carla to say, hey, like, I need some help, addressing this specific issue right now. If it's like a consistent problem that's coming up, then yeah, I would say like, if you want us to get involved or try to help in some way, we can do that.
I'll try to handle it the best I can, I
I'm sure-
don't know what.
I'm sure
come
you
up,
will.
but-
I mean, the job description says though that you'll be prepared to deal with extremely irate individuals.
Which I do already.
So,
I work with the client service with already, so it's okay.
so, I understand that, there could come a time where maybe a bunch of stuff comes down the pipe at one time and it's overwhelming. I don't have a very good answer for you right now, but I think as a first resource, we start with, for area plan, with Carla and with, probably the president of the board
And do I still reach out to Carmen?
and Carmen.
Okay.
Yeah. And then, if it becomes something where like that group of people who's doing a lot more now, and we acknowledge that, than normal, can't handle it, yeah, come to us and we'll try to figure it out. I think what we don't want to have happen is obviously you get super overwhelmed, not notify us,
And then stuff falls short.
and Jennifer's put in a place where, maybe you're so overwhelmed you can't help her. So we all, I think just like keeping up communication between all this stuff while we're kind of moving all these pieces around is probably gonna be necessary.
My question is, where do we budget this out of?
it's all
Has to be
general, it's all general funds, that office and Jennifer's is.
I know, but what I mean is, do we budget as area planning? Do we divide and make her choreographer / area plan and then use their budget as an increase in salary?
That's my vote.
Increase in
Yes.
salary?
Yeah, that's my vote.
That's my vote.
we could use that too.
I don't have to vote,
For
but that's my
26,
vote.
it's gonna be a little dicey and moving some money around in 25 to make things work,
Dance around.
but those will just be
But they'll
transferred.
actually be, we, area planning commission / choreographer will be the title of that budget.
John,
Yeah.
She's not gonna be the
she's not gonna be
choreographer.
dancing, she's a
If
cartographer.
we do that, we're not gonna, we don't
I'm
pay
picturing her
any extra.
dancing now, she's a choreographer.
We will
Now
do-
we gotta amend it again.
You did the first lesson.
Yeah,
I mean, Molly can sing, you dance, I'm in.
John, I think what would happen is that budget for area plan, instead of the 35, whatever, it's gonna go up to 36 or 46.5.
That's what I'm asking.
And then the area plan commission part-time budget would go up from 3,000 whatever to 13,000. And then if you go into the auditor's budget, the cartographer would just be, I'm trying to give him the visual, because that's how we're
Slash
thinking.
second
And you're gonna slash your cartographer and put second deputy there, it's just gonna be a read.
I'm just looking at it as us, a council, what we're doing with how we do it right now, I guess.
Yes,
No.
yes, yes.
Good question.
I
I
got
still
it.
like it. Corey,
I've already made the little changes in our book.
thank you for being
That's
here.
all right.
Poor guy trying to get
An hour
answers.
too long.
Thank you.
No, I can't see.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
All of
Thank
your
you.
help up to this point, I appreciate it.
All right, thank you all.
Thanks. See you, Mom.
All right. Anybody got anything else on that one? If not, our next question was, again, there was some talk of changing custodian here in the courthouse or with the county custodian position. Is there anything in that or,
It depends.
okay,
Okay, and here's what it's gonna depend on. It depends on whether or not you guys are gonna allow us to move a full-time position into the highway garage to take care of the mowing. Because I can tell you right now, I don't have time for it.
how would we fund it is the problem, because if we're collecting highway funds, I don't know that we can use highway funds to mow the courthouse.
You could take $10,000 out of that, you could take $10,000 out of that line and put it towards
Which line? Out of the,
custodian.
this one here?
Yes.
I'm missing something. We got somebody mowing now, so what's the problem?
They're not mowing all the properties. Is the
What-
problem.
Oh, we've got, okay.
And we
And
want,
they won't mow
we
it, or
want-
it's just
no,
not in job.
but we want them to use highway department equipment and mow a couple times a year back behind John Jones, so it stays looking presentable. We want the transfer station out there to be mowed on a regular basis, at least 20-foot
Just
span,
once a year.
once a week. And then 3 times a year, mow the field out there. Just, we want all of our properties looking presentable.
Well, usually
So
what
the pigeon
happens,
roost out front.
usually what happens in those
Yeah.
situations,
Just
you have
once a
someone
year.
mowing,
Yeah.
That's
You have-
free, by the way.
you have
Yeah.
someone mowing the transfer station, you have someone mowing highways that are under the purview of the street department, the highway department. You have people that are under the purview of the commissioners, because it's the courthouse. Every one of those budgets have to contribute to that one salary.
I'm
You
assuming,
can't pay somebody all out of highway funds that aren't mowing
I'm
highways.
assuming our maintenance man doesn't have time to do it all.
Can't keep up with all that.
Transfer station anyway.
You just can't keep up with it all. I mean, last summer, I mowed the health department every day. Not this past summer, because I was like, I don't have time.
Been there, I understand.
Because in my mind,
They mow EMS, health,
huh?
EMS, health, court, sheriff.
What the hell?
Do they mow those, or, I don't know what all of them mow. I'm asking.
I think sheriff's department knows their own.
They mow their own, so
Wow.
health department and behind it, EMS.
Yeah.
Do we mow that?
Are those
She's been-
buildings
she's
all
been mowing
owned by
them,
the
I think.
commissioners? Then that can go
Yeah,
out
but-
of the commissioner's budget, but not highway.
Or
Right.
About once every 2 weeks.
Randy, that front end of Pigeon Roost, that skid steer to mow with.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's why we're wanting to use somebody from the highway department. We want to put somebody in
let
the
them
highway
go out
department.
and
Because
Well, you could budget.
argumentatively, Eric can use a mower.
Mhm.
I would not put Eric in a tractor. I would not put Eric in a skid steer.
Well, I agree with that. I'm just saying, if we're gonna do it all, that's a part of it.
Yes.
If we're just talking about
Skid steer to do it.
location, why wouldn't we just, and I'm not talking about amounts or,
I'm sorry. I didn't hear the very first
we're
thing.
just talking about location, why wouldn't we just put it in the commissioner's budget?
That's what we were just saying, just put a mowing line in there.
And then if we have a highway department employee who says, well, you might have to.
I can
pay
tell you why.
OT.
Because in the wintertime, that person ain't gonna have no yards to mow. And Kevin needs people in the wintertime, because in the summertime, his guys collect more time and they bank their hours. So when the wintertime comes and he needs all his help, he don't have all his help all the time.
So, I mean, if you had the money, I'm just devil's advocate here. If you have the money in the commissioner's line for what you're asking for, couldn't we just contract with somebody to do some, like, or Like, I mean, like an individual person.
We're only gonna
Yeah, I see
give,
where you're going.
10,000.
we're only gonna give $10,000 to the health department, or to the highway department.
invoices from
And any contractor will cost us more than that.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm saying if we're supplying
John,
the
you can't beat
equipment, you know, it's our wear and tear.
It's almost gonna be like the commissioners hiring the highway department to mow and paying them to mow it. That's what it sounds like.
Yes.
Yeah.
But see,
It's not
I
two
can
different
see
agencies
some
though, so you can't do
but we're
it
using
interlocal
the
on
highway
it.
department equipment. I don't wanna hire an independent contractor to use highway department equipment.
I'm not saying, okay, I get that.
So you guys already have the money. You just want to.
No, I don't.
No, we don't have,
You want 10,000.
we would like you guys to supplement the county highway department, $10,000 to take care of all of our
Where's
property.
that 10,000 gonna come from?
You can take it out of the, if we're gonna do this, then we can take it out of the line for, we just call it, go back to
The
the custodian
Or
line.
the building manager or
Custodian.
superintendent there? Okay.
So you're gonna do away with that position?
Well, we don't use it now.
We don't use it now.
The custodian position?
Right.
I'm talking about.
What,
Well, we have.
here's
we have custodian
what I would do
position, but
in
we
the
have-
big,
Building superintendent?
in the big picture.
Yeah, that's what.
I would get rid of the custodian
So we can
position.
zero that out.
I would hire a contractor to come in here during maybe 2-3 days a week during the daytime to clean,
Mhm.
because, or somebody on call, because, you know, you might have somebody get sick in the restroom. Whatever, somebody needs to clean that up. So
So,
we gotta have somebody, but all this is we're gonna take it out of the custodian line to pay for all these things
so
So
I'm
would it-
trying to
and
get,
get rid of the custodian.
so who's gonna pick up, I'm assuming we're talking the maintenance guy. So who's gonna pick up his duties?
In my mind, again,
We don't wanna
this
be too personal here.
this is
They're under-
my thoughts, but we need to have, Ben Petty, just,
Is he
let's not,
Is he willing to?
let's not
No.
have any pretenses
No.
here. For years, what's been going on is our custodian
Well,
has
hang
seen
on.
something
Well,
broke. He calls,
Let's talk about positions
Thank you.
in a very generic sense.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well, would it make sense?
When things
to
are broke,
contract
they pick up a phone and they call
dollar
somebody
amount
to fix
out and contract those services?
So are you saying that you don't use the building superintendent, the 47,331 that's budgeted for it? Can we zero that out for 2025?
They're saying to take the 47,331 line and move that into, like Greg's saying, contract services, or Randy, for someone contracted to do similar duties.
And leave the building superintendent at 37,331, or getting rid of the 47 and moving and creating another line of 10?
Now, getting rid of 47,331 and moving all of that into different categories,
And
keeping
then-
the bottom line 281.
And then do contractual mowing, yeah? Under professional service,
That would
and
be
just
under the.
fund it with 10,000?
Well, whether, I mean, your idea is to hire somebody, right? And for
And put them in the highway department, because this person is, they're gonna mow all these places. And there's a lot of places,
I understand.
but
what
they're
you're-
also gonna take care of their mower, they're gonna be greasing it, they're gonna be
But that-
I
sharpening
understand
blades.
what you're saying, but you can't pay a highway, I mean,
We're gonna
you're
give them
paying a
money to
highway
do it,
department employee to do work for the
We're
commissioners
talking
with
about-
highway funds.
but we're gonna give that person, we're gonna take money from the custodian line and put that into Kevin's to pay for that position.
And how much is that altogether?
But that person
10,000.
can
Well,
mow
there's-
highway, but they can't mow the commissioner's property, which is specifically what you want them from. Zach, what do you think about doing a stipend
I'm like
from the
$10,000.
commissioners
That
for
ain't
one
gonna
of the
pay
already
somebody all
existing
year long.
employees?
No,
that's kind of what I was
That's
saying
cheap
at
for
the
us.
beginning, but now I'm hearing a lot of.
Well, I mean, if
I
you're
don't
gonna
know
have
that that
somebody hired
works,
for
honestly.
highway
You can't
department,
just fund a
we'll pay
position.
Highway
10,000 for the
department.
summer.
the highway department's gonna pay for this guy, because this guy ain't gonna
They
be
already
mowing.
got the money?
He can mow all of our properties, John. in
No, I
2-3
get
days.
that. I'm just trying I'm trying to figure this in from a summer job into a year-round job. $10,000 is gonna pay for the summer job.
Yeah, but the rest of the time, he's gonna be working for the county highway,
But I mean, where's that money coming from?
county highway.
They've already got the money or we gotta
Yes,
do it?
oh, yeah, county highway's got plenty of money to add.
We can't use county highway money to mow non-county highway properties.
Okay, that makes it simple.
Right, so if the commissioners want to hire someone to do their mowing for $10,000, they can, I guess, contract with or do you give a stipend to one of the highway department employees to do that?
To
And
Or
that would be extra
muddy
work
that
for
water
him?
a little bit more, what
That
happens?
sounds like overtime if
Mowing
you do
with a
that.
highway piece of equipment
if somebody gets,
Huh?
right, right.
on
This
non-highway.
is why I think this is a bad idea, because there's just
Can you do that?
legal red flags that are popping up to me,
You wouldn't
right?
have to pay overtime?
I mean, if
No, because it would be.
You want
mower's caught on fire,
He does his
who
own,
pays
like,
for
stuff
it?
on the
Yes,
side.
that's, I
Wait
think
till
that,
y'all-
I
when
think,
you were-
yes.
I'm sorry.
Like, to the commission,
I don't
if
have
they're
a lot
using-
over
here.
for their
If they're
employees.
using highway department,
I reckon they can.
if they're using highway department equipment that we bought with highway motor vehicle funds or whatever funds were used, and we're mowing a commissioner's property and it blows up, is the general fund then responsible for those motor vehicles? How the SBOA is gonna look at that?
If we wanted
So
to
I think it just,
contract
it
with the county
is
highway
blurring the
employees
line for me
come
that I don't
after
know how to
hours,
get you where you want
they
to
have their own LLC.
be. Because even if
their own
you gave
business.
somebody a
If
stipend
they
or you
work for us,
contracted with
they'd not
a
have to pay overtime.
employee of the highway department, I would not condone them using highway department
Sorry.
Yeah,
equipment
probably
bought
have
with
to
motor
fill out.
vehicle
You
funds.
could probably do all kinds of mowing
For
everywhere else. in
commissioner
town. I don't know if you can
Well,
mow
we're
for
only
us.
talking about doing that like
Saunders did something about
every
heating or
once-
something. I think it was
3
prepping
times a
or-
year.
prepping.
So if we need to hire somebody to mow them,
Or chips.
other
I
than
I
that,
think
that's
that's
fine.
true. I just
The
don't
rest
know
of this
if
equipment we have anyway, it's the county
I
has.
just think it's creating a very blurred line for
To wag
use
them.
of motor vehicle funds.
And again.
Because those aren't like, it's not like we're taking it all out of the general funds. Those are highway department has motor vehicle funds and highway department funds that are different from general property tax funds.
I
To me,
think so.
That was just throwing it out
if,
there.
if that's,
Yeah.
Again, I'm not
and
saying
I
it's a
get
good
what you're
idea, I'm
saying,
just saying.
if that's the case,
I think it might
then
be a
we'd
good
be
idea. I
better
just
off
don't wanna make, I'm
just
gonna
setting
make
that
it
line
legally done
aside.
the right way.
and
I mean,
contract
for a question like that, I would ask.
some folks that we're used to working with to take care of the
That's
problem.
up to you guys.
Well, I'm trying to understand, do you need that building superintendent? The 47,331 that we have budgeted for the building superintendent, are you saying you don't need that?
I'm saying if we have somebody to do the mowing and we can get to that point, then yes, we can do away with the building
Bottom
superintendent.
line is that we need somebody to work on the properties,
Mhm.
to be able to mow and keep up. I mean, it's too much for one person.
In addition to the 47,331 that you have for a building superintendent, okay. Okay, that's why I wanna make clear, are we looking for additional money? And if so, where? I mean, I would think the commissioner.
I don't think we can do that.
We're not
No, I
looking
mean,
for additional.
we're going to get rid of the building maintenance line, so,
Okay,
So
The
we're not
custodian.
looking for additional.
One more time,
yes.
the building inspector, what's gonna happen to him? Is he just gonna take on additional duties?
Ben,
Not the building, yeah, thank you.
well, I plan on us giving Ben $10,000 more a year.
We're gonna pay him 10,
Or
To be clear, Ben doesn't want that.
I know that, but does he know, is he aware of the 10,000?
sounds to me
Yes.
like we just need to find $10,000
It's
for
getting a
them to
little
hire mowers
complicated.
for commissioner's property. And put
I'm
10,000
not too
into
sure
the
there shouldn't
commissioner's
be
line under
a
contractual.
Here's, look, guys,
Yes,
here's the thing. There's a lot of duties we've been paying for that we don't get. We're not getting them out.
Is that?
What we're doing is we're trying to move things around to where they fit what's going on.
So who would oversee this budget,
Which budget?
this
custodian.
custodian
building
budget, if we did
maintenance.
away with that?
That would be Ben.
Did we just not give Ben some extra duties not too long ago?
He took on
Actually, I think there was a.
Floodplain.
floodplain.
Yeah, but that's always been in the job
Well,
description.
it has been, yes, it has been, true.
So I wanna, there were no additional duties assigned. It's.
He just started doing things that were in the job description that,
He got certified for it.
Well,
Yeah.
is mowing the commissioner's property in this job description?
this one,
Yeah, the building superintendent.
I don't know,
Yes,
Custodian.
yes.
I would say.
So he's supposed to mow.
Yes,
Yeah.
he does.
And does.
He's supposed to be mowing the yard here twice a week.
But it's
I didn't know.
unobtainable to keep up with the properties the way it should be. And we've always had two people, that's why there's two lines, right?
Well, is there two on?
Well, there was, the other one,
There's a stipend, right?
that was what,
Didn't we used to have somebody at the jail and
Yeah.
somebody over here?
there used to
Well,
always be,
we've always had two people over here.
it goes way back to
I thought one was
Danny Snell.
there,
We had
but they
Years
spent.
and
We
years
just,
ago.
we had Josh
And
here.
had
Yeah.
a number two.
So all these properties that you rattled off that need to be mowed, how are they getting mowed
You
now?
know, me.
Like-
They don't get mowed every time.
Hang on.
But when they do, who's doing that and with what equipment?
I will,
The county highway has been, hired out.
Okay,
Well-
yeah, that's good,
Other equipment. in the county?
We've contracted some mowing out,
okay.
the big properties, right?
yes,
That
And-
requires equipment. So we've contracted big mowing jobs out.
To John-
And
to
then
John
Eric takes care of,
company.
Okay.
you know, what he can with a push mower, a ride mower, that kind of
they
thing.
may not do it anymore.
Well,
but
Randy, I guess my
EMS
question is,
used to.
absent taking anything out of that building maintenance and messing with that budget, what do you need to make sure that
I
those
think
get
they
done?
did, I don't know if they are now.
I guess ultimately, my
Well-
question, do you want to combine both the building commissioner budget, which is $48,614, with building maintenance, which is $281,000, those two together for one person to oversee? Is that kind of what you?
I think so, yes.
Okay.
That makes more sense. But it
Is
still
that-
doesn't, to me, take care of the mowing.
But now, the reason it makes sense to use a guy at the county highway, us pay them a stipend, is because in the wintertime, this person is gonna go from busy, summer to nothing. And Kevin needs help. in the
Here's
winter.
where I was.
What
going with
happened
that,
to the
Heather.
old boy that was doing the mowing?
Here's where I was
Somebody
going with this.
Part-time mowing work at, in the
If
summer.
they oversee
on the
these two
county
departments,
highway.
their commissioner
Daryl
overseeing
left.
departments,
Yeah.
Daryl,
and they choose to combine
there
them,
you go.
Well, can't we just replace
they
them?
pick who's over it, and they
We could,
send
but
us a
that would
budget.
just, we
for
can't let him
26.
mow our properties.
County,
that's what I'm
building
saying.
commissioner
Somebody to mow
and building
property.
maintenance.
Yeah, we need to hire somebody
Is that
to
fair?
take care
For
of
our
our
end.
properties.
Well,
He was
That
mowing,
is their decision.
roadsides, right?
That's all I
I'm
need
sorry?
is a budget.
He was
from
just
whoever.
roadside mowing.
Yeah, he was roadside mowing, but
Okay,
Does that sound fair?
Yep.
If,
I'm sorry, I'm
No,
talking
I
to
know,
three different
I know.
people
I
at
get
once.
you, me.
so from a council standpoint, if you three oversee both building commissioner and building custodian, and you choose to merge those two departments together and make one director or one boss of it, for us, all we would need is to know how they now want to budget both 281,000 and 48,000 on a budget form that we can put together for 26.
You need to go ahead and put another job description up for sale too, because mental quit against it.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Well, wait a
Well,
minute.
I say that we,
Look.
the council,
All essentially we're asking Ben to do,
He's
I understand.
Conflict of interest with the people. he-
okay, I don't wanna talk about, I think this is where Zach was getting, let's not talk about people specifically, because they could be HR issues better served in executive, does that make sense?
Yeah.
I think for right now, from the council's perspective, until you guys decide what you wanna do, whether that's an executive session or that's just sending us a new budget, we just keep things the way they are until we're directed by the commissioners what they're gonna do. Does that sound okay?
Combine both budgets,
That
y'all
sounds
let us know what you want
fair.
to do. That'd probably be the best thing.
If that's what you want to do, then
We'll
we
leave
just,
the money, we'll leave the money where it's at, and y'all can tell us how.
Yeah, and then
Yeah,
Jennifer
we
could just get a budget and
Well, you can zero over one budget plumb out, and let them ask for an additional when they figure it out.
Or we can move and transfer, we can do it.
that is an option.
I would expect, yeah.
Thank you, John.
That definitely is an option.
So,
Appreciate it.
let me ask a stupid question. This is my first time going through this.
Okay.
Is the custodian different from the building commissioner?
Yes, two separate
Two separate
departments.
Okay, I
Two
just want to
separate
make sure.
departments entirely.
Okay, yeah, right.
One goes
It's
out
petty.
and visits buildings
It's just inspector,
as an
building
inspector. One is on site,
commission, the custodian is the person.
whatever that job description
All
is.
right, the building commissioner is the inspector.
So
Correct.
Yes, okay, that's where I was getting confused, I was just making sure.
I was
Yes.
confused too. So if we get,
Yeah.
we're saying get rid of the custodian
yes.
position.
Okay, that's,
And that is probably gonna be better held in an executive session for
Yeah.
whatever you three decide to do with that.
Yeah, did you-
All I'm saying is for our standpoint,
We just gotta know where to put money.
we just need a budget for however you wanna work that out. for that one.
Okay.
And I have zero problem with zero.
Oh, I know you. The only problem I have with that is come January, you got bills to pay and utilities to keep on and things like that. So, but ultimately, you three oversee both of those departments. However, you all agree to move forward with those, I'm fine with from my
We're
standpoint.
just gonna put both of them combined and you got
Number
The, I think we cleared this one up already because the
Because Jennifer's getting
position,
a
we
second.
talked about moving that to a second deputy. Everybody good on that one?
Yeah.
What do you guys see, or what's your thoughts on the recovery court program? Are we wanting to start?
I think the
A
question
court-
that came up, wasn't it, is if we have enough for the church project that the commissioners have already approved from restricted. Restricted is so, the usage
Restricted.
for restricted opioid funds is so small that sometimes it is hard to find projects, but I think the church and then the recovery court,
We
Judge
have-
Mountain got his grant, I think you guys knew that.
Yeah.
But the question was, Jennifer says the balance was not enough and that she was unsure of when more was coming.
We've had one receipt in there. I looked yesterday, I forget if it's 40 or 50,000. We've only had one receipt. By this time last year, we had three, and one of those was 400,000. So we're way down on our
We
receipts.
were,
compared
we
to-
were to receive a lower amount this year, no question, across. the
Well, they've been lower, but like I said, we've only got one receipt so far this year.
Well,
The
I think
first one
that's supposed
came in,
to
I
keep
think, in
going.
April of last
Here's,
year.
here's my standpoint on the recovery court. And I'm sure Judge Mount's gonna call me tomorrow or send me a nasty email, but I think it is an excellent program. I think it falls within what opioid uses could be.
Sure that is.
My concerns are if we start another court, what is the end result gonna be? Are we gonna have to add probation or prosecutors or public defenders? What changes with our current setup now? Because if you add additional employees under those offices, do those directors get more money from the state level type?
Recovery courts
Let
are
me,
run by the
yeah, hang on,
same.
let me,
people back.
yeah, let me,
It's just,
let me kind of,
it's just a different docket.
okay, so that's,
Zach would probably know more than me, but that's my
well,
understanding.
but that's pretty much it. So we're not talking about, in some ways, I think the recovery court act, you can think of it's actually saving some money probably because he is getting a grant that he's only eligible for these particular types of services and these particular types of cases. It does not require an additional prosecutor. It does not require an additional public defender. It does not require an additional judge. It does not require additional staff. At least in my experience, okay, I've never seen a court expand in terms of the logistical size of the office or a prosecutor's office expand or a public defender's office expand around the creation of a recovery court in a particular court that was not previously.
And I'll tell you where I'm coming from. Like, and I don't want to kick anybody or whatever. I want everyone to know I'm happy with the situation we have. But at one point, the county was told a magistrate's free by the state. So we got one. Now we don't have enough courtroom space. So we got threatened with a mandate. Then we bought a building. Now we got to pay to move to a building, move offices. Are we going to get in the same program here? We do recovery court. All of a sudden now you need a new probation. You need to do this. And
Well,
Think of it like
comes with
this.
a-
Think of, okay, so let's say X County has, I'll just use like round numbers. Okay, let's say X County has 100 cases, right? You have 100 cases, you always file 100 cases, you got 100 cases a year, and you need Y amount of people to address 100 cases, okay? If you operate a recovery court, you still have 100 cases.
Makes sense.
You never,
change.
you don't go up, right? You just divert, let's say, a percentage of that 100 into a different type of view of the criminal justice system, okay? And it does not require, again, that we expand out into all these different areas with new positions. The people you already have there, the same prosecutor, okay,
would have handled that case anyway.
Yeah.
like I deal with prosecutors who are theoretically like recovery court prosecutors, we have other cases that are not recovery court-based cases with that same prosecutor.
Those courts just identify people that are in a subsection. I think that recovery court's probably drug and alcohol court, right?
Yeah.
So people that have traditional, that are in the system because of drug and alcohol, and diverts them to the same people, but that are focused on, let's, help them recover from those issues, get them the resources they need, and they're on a different view path, sort of like veterans. Veterans Court does not add anything, any prosecutors, the same prosecutors, the same public defenders, everybody handles it. It just sort of identifies this person as a need because they're a veteran.
So,
Maybe they have PTSD issues, maybe they need more intense, therapy, that they need somebody looking at that case differently.
these people are already in the system. so
Yeah.
that's right.
And we're not arresting people because they need recovery court, they're already arrested.
There's no need, where you two are talking, to have these extra people.
No, not in and I've worked in a recovery court in Crawford
The
County.
requirement, there wasn't no requirement, we had to have all the city hall. and stuff either.
No.
But another thing is that we use the
Opioid.
if we do the church, we're not having that area, that's what he needs out of that too.
Well, I
Well,
think,
so the last meeting, they talked like there'd be more money coming in. That
That's
may
what they're
not
saying, but
happen.
I'm not seeing it, and I don't know how to look for it.
is that, I guess the
The
choice for
theory was
the
there's
commissioner,
enough for both.
is the question for the commissioner.
He's saying that we're getting more. The
But it's
reduced
not-
amount.
We don't know when.
We don't know
Yeah.
Is the question for the commissioners, if we have to choose between the church that you've approved or the recovery court, which do you want, which one
Recovery
is?
court,
No,
I would.
that's,
That's your decision.
John would
too.
like to have recovery court.
No, I just, have- if I had to pick.
That's
between
why I
two,
asked the
that'd be my
commissioners.
choice.
Yeah.
Well, but they have their options, I have my options.
Yeah, about 13,000 if the, building is paid for
I'm gonna go, with-
currently.
I'm gonna go with
He
church,
needs
and the
how
reason
much?
I'm gonna go with church
30?
is because I think Scott County needs to work more towards our younger crowd and keep them off the drugs to begin with.
Well, let me
Both
just,
things are okay.
let me throw something out there, okay? I know that we've accepted a bid contingent on appropriation, and I think you guys have not appropriated, and we're here tonight kind of just talking about ideas. I do think that what you could do, okay, is you all are concerned about essentially, it is budget time right now. We need to budget, this is what we have, okay? Couldn't you budget the 30 that he's requesting using restricted opioid funds? And so we will be under the bid amount by like 20-ish thousand. I mean, again, my understanding is we're to receive an additional amount, right?
That's what I was thinking, that's where.
Here-
It
here's
will
where-
come in.
Here's where I was scared though about doing that. If we don't know that the money's coming in and we're not certain, and we don't have enough money for both projects, and we don't have enough money for both projects, then what happens is Judge Mount is getting this grant. He's moving forward for recovery court. He's going to have to, make sure that the processes are in place that he does. He's got to submit to the state. He's gotten his grant. He's going to have a recovery court. And we're going to have to give him the money to pay for it. You guys are gonna go get a contract to do the roof or whatever it is on this church, and we're gonna have to pay for that too. So in the end, if there's not enough money in the opioid, we're gonna have to take it from somewhere, because we've got contracts and bids, and we've got Judge Mount already getting the.
What's in the, what's in,
I just-
hang on, what's in the unrestricted?
What I wanna know, if you just
I
said
think
we
it's
have
about
to.
12 too.
I just,
You just said he gets the grant, they have to do this.
If you're.
I
No,
just-
I said he's already got the grant, and if we commit and say, yes, go forward with the recovery court, he's going to make plans. He's gonna be starting to put
And I
people in
understand
place
that.
in those
I
recovery
understand
courts
that,
to
but yeah, I mean, I got,
train and,
what I heard you say was we have to.
Hold on, I'm gonna put it up here.
Okay,
well,
anyway, I think I understand.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, I'm just
because
saying-
he's committing to that
he's
grant.
getting to
So
that grant.
and let me,
He's moving forward.
Well,
and I
he's
get that.
committing to a grant that we didn't even give him permission to get.
He doesn't have to ask us.
well,
Well,
I wanna say this.
The county
On what you
rule book
said,
over
as a commissioner who
Says he
came
does.
into
Well, the
office
county rule
with
book
our
don't affect the judges.
EMS
Well,
Sorry,
it does, and I.
$4
will
million in
not-
the hole
I'm
because they
not
spent
voting
money
for
they
it.
didn't have.
And I'm okay with that. I'm just
I want to wait.
trying to sort this
I'm,
out.
I'm for the church,
And I just want to say where
and
I'm,
then
I would
we
like
can
to be
do
able
the
to try to
recovery
do both.
why
later
I'm
if
at
that's
where
right.
I'm at. Okay, I'm looking
Okay,
at,
but what if we can't do
Right.
both?
Then I,
hang on. I'm looking at a opioid estimate payments from, again, I realize this is a long time ago, but October 18th of 2022. This was a
Jared, can you get loud? Are you looking at it?
Excel sheet that was sent out by the state to kind of apprise political subdivisions of what their expectations should be on a yearly basis for receipts of opioid settlement funds. Scott County in 2025 was to receive under this original estimate, prior to us executing other secondary settlements with, I don't know, like,
Purdue.
Yeah,
Carmen.
we just did one, like 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. We were to receive an abatement share in 2025, and this is just it, restricted, $98,863.02. In the unrestricted, we were to receive $11,257.13.
Did we get that?
Well, she said we only got 50,000.
Yeah,
I'm saying
nine.
Right now, we have 35.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, but that might have something that's
The only
not
thing I see
paid
is
yet.
92 coming in, and that was in August. That's unrestricted you're looking at there, Zach. 9,000.
I just want you guys to understand that we probably could do both. I believe Zach, when he, believes there's more money coming in, because there is going to be, and we signed on to be defend or plaintiffs in other opioid lawsuits. But at the same time, if for some reason we get there and Jennifer's like, the fund's zero, what do I do?
You wanna see
We're gonna have to
restricted,
appropriate it from
exactly.
somewhere else, because they're making a commitment to fix that church. We're making a commitment
These are
to Judge
receipts.
Mount that, yes, that recovery
This
for
is
the
the total
part that
ledger
you did
for
not
that
get a
account.
grant for will be funded.
I don't know what's
Does that make sense?
appropriated out of it.
I'm not saying you personally, I'm advising my client of what
So-
before you decide what to do.
This row right
I'm
here
with JR
is
on this,
receipts.
guys. We
This is
got a
deduction.
free magistrate years ago, and look what that free magistrate has done to us.
So you're saying we only received $9,000 in unrestricted?
$9,222.
That's it, because that's opioid restricted there is 366. The other one is that. So $9,232.09 came in August and was put in there August 18th.
I mean, that does not seem right at all.
That's all, I mean, I'm just telling you what's in here. But as we're sitting here talking, the total in unrestricted shows $35,612.
I need new glasses. I can't tell the difference.
Well,
I can't-
welcome
I'm
back.
sorry.
Well, I think what we're hearing is that.
So as
they
we're
want
sitting
to
here
go
right now,
forward
that
with the
far
church.
right shows opioid unrestricted, it has in that account $35,612.59. Yes, sir.
That's what I'm seeing too, and all that I've
That's more
seen
than I
that we
Yeah.
are, all I'm seeing that we have budgeted out there this year is the transfer station, but I thought there was something else, so I'm wondering if there's an appropriation that's not been put in.
And that's what I
possibly.
don't.
Because we took it down to like, I thought we took it down to 12 something.
I thought we did too.
I don't know what all is. off
The only
top
thing
of
that's
my
showing is the 40,000 out for the transfer station, and that's been paid out of there.
head.
But I thought we had
Let me see if I
appropriated
have our-
something
Sitting here,
else.
is- I mean, if he wants $30,000, why wouldn't we just do it from the unrestricted?
Can you give me till tomorrow to make sure and go back through all of our ordinances to make sure we have
Yeah.
it?
What are we?
How much
So we're good. We're good with restricted. We covered
Look at
that.
that, all the ordinances
We
from
could
there,
take
but-
unrestricted funds and give them to
324.
the recovery.
Let's do that. Everybody wins and we move on.
We got 366.
Wait a minute, guys. I'll accept a motion to take,
Well,
how much do you
she's
need?
asking for more time.
Let me make sure that we don't have a, because I thought somehow that
Because you
we
guys
had
have a meeting tomorrow,
another.
right? You could do the thing.
Yeah, I thought we had another appropriation out there that I'm not finding now. But I need to go back through all of our ordinances and see.
I'll
All right. So anyway, we passed on to you guys earlier that we want to get the opioid restricted
Yes.
to renovate our building for opioid classes.
Which,
That one we've already passed you guys and we're
No.
waiting on an answer.
I'll just be honest with you. I don't know that I support that, and here's why. I don't know if we can take on another building, pay another utility, more upkeep on a building, and who's gonna oversee that process? When, if we can renovate with opioid restricted, why could you not take that same amount of money and put it towards a courtroom that overhears every opioid case to renovate up there versus a building that's set for more than a decade to bring on when we can barely pay for what we got? We don't know what City Hall is gonna cost in utilities. We don't know what upkeep on that's gonna cost, or once you get in there, what it's gonna take to do that. My fear is if we bring an additional building into our system, we obviously have, basic utilities. You're gonna have a restroom in there. You're gonna have, water, sewer, electric, whatever Andrew has to do. Just the bid that you had, I don't think, that's not turnkey. That's gonna get you the building.
I understand what you're saying, and I appreciate you saying that. But that's a commissioner's decision, not yours.
Money
Yours
is
are
not
paying for it's already.
paying for it when I don't
Exactly,
have.
but you can't sit here and make policy like this.
I'm not in
I'm
any way.
gonna present this a different way. It's a county asset.
I agree.
And I'm not saying that I don't disagree with some of the things you're saying. But, when we have a county asset, to just set it, let it fall apart, it ain't worth a nickel right now. So even like your attorney has pointed out, we have restricted funds that you can't find a whole lot of useful needs for those, right? They can only go to certain things. We have an opportunity with those funds to get that asset back up on its feet, where potentially we might be able to sell it, just like we need to start on another conversation.
Yeah.
With a lot of these other assets we got, and start condensing these things back down to put county government in 2 or 3 buildings instead of having to spread out all over hell's half acre. So I say, in my opinion, yes, I agree with Randy 1,000%. We need to renovate that building and get it on its feet so we can do something. It's an eyesore right now.
And on top of which, it's the commissioner's job to take care of the buildings that's in our county. That is a building that needs to be taken care of, and we have the money to take care of it.
Well, I certainly
It's a
respect,
historic building as well.
well, I certainly respect what you said and what you said, but I also, from my client's perspective, you have to be able, you may be able to renovate. I think this is where we're at. You may be able to renovate with the opioid restricted, and that's fine. We don't have them, it's going to fall in disrepair again. This county is almost broke. We had $4 million of additional appropriations this year, and probably 2 of them were this year. So we've had over $1 million of additional appropriations this year. We're ending this year after we budget, and that's cutting back people to what they got paid in 2025, which was what they got paid in 2024, and we're gonna have less than $1 million left. So we have to be able to take care of those things, and we can't even provide, I don't even know if we can budget electricity for it.
I understand what you're
So
saying.
I don't think that's a policy issue.
So what we're saying is, we just put a roof on a church that the council wants us to level.
We didn't vote to put that roof on. It was handed to us. The roof was already on it. If we're bringing that up, the roof was already installed, and then we were handed a bill to either fund or tell the contractor, we're not paying you for your
Guys,
work.
the building belongs to the county. We cannot let a building just fall.
I don't
to
understand why
pieces.
you're raising your voice. We should be having a civil
I'm
conversation.
not
And we also
raising my
can't talk
voice.
out both sides of our mouth and say, we can't raise taxes, but we continuously want to bring more stuff on,
Yeah.
straight up.
My only
Well, I
other
think
question
the
is,
question, they're talking about using the opioid restricted funds, and they are hard to use, and that may be a good use of it for the short term. I think long term is what my client's looking at. We can't keep it up. We can't.
The building's not worth anything right
utilities.
now if we don't invest in it. If we can make an initial.
Sell it as is, I guess.
With
I mean, I
opioid
don't know.
restricted.
I think that's not
I don't
me.
think whether money to do both.
I just started with
What?
I
the
thought we decided a few minutes ago
non-opioid,
there
the
was money to do
non-opioid
both.
funds are very
There
dire.
is.
Randy, are you still
I
planning on
mean,
selling the
And I don't
building
have a
out there
problem
at
with that.
the hospital?
I
Do
do
what?
have a problem with
Y'all
that.
still planning on selling the building at the hospital?
John,
We're planning.
we would like to sell all of these
can
buildings.
opioid restricted be used to renovate a courtroom was my question.
We are looking, we have talked about selling the VA, or the VA building that used to be the old health department.
Which
That
I
has been
think
discussed.
sees every opioid case.
There's also an idea that maybe we should move EMS.
You would have to ensure it's
I
always
think
used for that, you know?
Certainly, there would be rationales where maybe pieces of it, like dedicated pieces, I would assume. But if we're just talking about renovating a pre-existing courtroom that's gonna be used in a whole number of different, I mean, look, for my 2 cents to that question, I don't know that I've had very many cases that are entirely devoid of some relationship to substance abuse in the myriad of cases that I have. I mean, cases you wouldn't think, right, in terms of how they're styled. But would that qualify? I don't know. I mean, I think that we would have to be very specific about what we were renovating and with what funds and for what purpose.
And I was just trying to think outside the box to bring up conversation. I'm in no way trying to create policy here.
Zach,
I'm
what do
just
you
saying
think?
X amount of dollars.
What do you think?
We have the Everett building over here
What do you
that
think?
probably
will be
needs to
in
be
opioid fund?
shut
Do you know?
down.
How many?
Which one?
And the Everett,
Oh, okay.
26.
that probably needs to be shut down and then moved to the John Jones building and then sell that.
That's a lot of money to do that though.
Well, that's what we was always.
You're
I
just
don't
sitting here
know.
telling me that
26.
you, and I agree with you.
I just don't.
We need to get rid of some of these buildings that we don't need.
We got a John Jones.
But we
building
cannot get
that's
rid of the church.
underutilized right now.
Yeah, I-
We can't get rid of the church because it's sitting on the same ground that our jail's sitting on.
And I don't in any way disagree that it should be renovated, it should be used. I'm just saying, is right now the time to do it? It's set for a decade. Or is there a possibility we could use some of this money, get through the short term of this hardship that our county's in, and then
We can't use
facilitate?
that money for
Or
anything
scale-
else.
You can only use it for certain things. I mean,
But
it's
once
not
you
like
do
you
it-
can spread that money
Once you
out.
do it, I don't have the money to budget you utilities. I don't have the money to budget you Wi-Fi,
That's what
nothing.
my point is.
Utilities ain't
I'm
gonna be
100%
that
on
way.
board with you guys using that money.
Right
for
over
money.
there, look at that
But-
right now.
I know. I'm not disagreeing with you all
We're
at
talking
all.
about putting in
I'm
mini
not.
splits.
I'm
We're
just,
not talking about putting in,
I guess it-
Go ahead, James.
sorry.
No, I'm 100% agreeing with using that money for that structure, 100%. But once again, we sit here and we are in a position where we can't even pay utilities. We can't. And then, well, we're not doing a bond. Guys, the more and more we keep doing and bringing on and this, electric, utilities,
We will
we
have
are
to,
broke already.
we'll have to do a bond.
Right, I mean, and that's my point, you just said it. At this point, we have to do a bond. So let's.
I think it
quit
comes back to the
acting like
magistrate argument,
wait a
right?
minute.
We're getting something for free, AKA the renovation of the church, because we're using free funds, we're using
Right.
restricted opioids. But it's costing us A, B, and C, and
That's-
for many
that's
years
what
to
I'm getting
come,
at.
we'll do, and we don't have that. I
John
mean,
Miller,
especially if we don't have a bond.
let's end this discussion real quick. We heat and cool that place with mini splits. Probably how much are we looking at a month?
It depends how much work you do to the inside of it, and what are you gonna do?
We're gonna renovate it completely,
It's, mini splits is the cheapest way to heat, that's for sure.
I agree.
but we're probably looking, what, maybe $100 a month?
Maybe on the heat side, but you're not looking at electric and hot water heater and everything else, so I don't know. I mean, it just depends what your electric rates are over there, so. I
So,
mean, the mini splits ain't gonna be-
Here's where we're at right
I'm
now.
not
on
so sure
budget.
we can tear it down.
Yeah, I mean, the building is a historic building.
Here's
Well,
where
I
We
we're
can't
at.
just go tear it
You
down.
know, I'm often asked when
Built
I'm
in the
interviewing for
1800s, I'm not so
municipalities,
sure we can tear it down.
by county commissioners ask me, well, how do I get the council under control? And the council say, how do I get the commissioners under control? I'm like, this is our system of government. You guys are the executive. I think my clients totally respect that. But we have to think of the long-term fiscal future, and I think, I want you to understand where they're coming from. I think they think it's a good idea to renovate it, but they're thinking 10 years from now, are we even gonna be in a position? I mean, this budget's showing we're gonna have less than $1 million left.
Those are the
In
bottom.
10 years from now, they might want to sell.
I know
So-
it's still sound insane. but
I understand you
agree
wanna
with
get your
all-
proposals
every-
through, but
like,
we gotta be really,
This is
even
not
if
trying
we're
to get
using
what I'm saying.
unrestricted opioid or restricted, we've gotta be fiscally.
think we need to stop
So I don't know if
against
we
each
can
other
do
publicly
less
saying
in that bid,
things
or,
are
you
So-
know, whatever.
On that line of
We're gonna
thinking,
afford all this, we have to do
in
something.
10 years
I
from now,
know, but maybe it is just
Randy.
worth raising to the ground.
Randy.
I don't know.
Is
But if
people
we-
going to use that?
We can't.
Is that going, who's going to be using that?
schools, everybody that's doing
Talk to the state store.
program. All these programs that move into this area, they always have to have a
The
building.
resolution that was passed related,
Yeah, this is a bad,
basically.
it's a bad situation. I know, it's a bad situation. for
Primarily-
everybody.
No, it is just out of the historical.
I just think if you had a person there, a company there doing it, they can pay their own.
Because it only goes
That's just
around
thinking
the block.
outside, you know.
We can't,
So
Yeah, but
it's
I
on
think
Second
that-
Street.
I think that
It's
we were
not
gonna
in
use it
the
primarily
store.
for inmates,
Yeah.
and they're not gonna have,
Well, I didn't know. I was reading that.
I know there would be.
but it would still be available for
Where
like
it is, I mean. we
things
just
like
have to
Randy's
bring
talking
the
about,
office in.
those uses would qualify as long as the classes were directed at.
With the changes in.
So technically, we're adding on to our jail.
Plan commission, that's gonna go down.
no.
If we're letting inmates use it, that's,
You're kind
it's
of
gotta
doing,
be secured,
there would need
We
to
won't
be
have enough
some
to get
level of
50 years.
secured.
which is more money.
We're gonna
Insurance,
allow
more
Jerry to
money.
use it just like anybody else.
Look at them bottom lines. That's where
Okay.
we're at with 26. And
Hey,
this is.
I don't care what you guys
Okay,
do.
hold on.
Just let's get past this and get a vote on it because
But hold on, this is the problem
Is
in
it
our whole
separate?
community. We have to be able to disagree without getting upset. And
I'm
we have
not
to be able
upset,
to come to
JR. I'm getting tired.
some kind of a
Everybody's
resolution.
passionate
I've been
about
up since
what they believe.
4:30. I'm tired too, but this means a lot to our county.
I'm
And I would-
tired of arguing with your board.
And I gotta worry about this.
But it shouldn't be an argument.
You're
I'm not
right.
trying to
You're
argue.
100% right.
Until we come together and talk reasonably and sensibly,
I know, but this is just
nothing
like,
gets
to
better.
me, this is the same thing as the green tractor. I'm not going down that route.
Which, I mean,
I'm not gonna-
if you wanna talk layman
How
terms
about the
on
mower?
tractor,
We
you
want to
buy
buy
a
the
mower,
mower,
now
everybody
you need a
likes
semi to
They
haul
want
it,
a John
now you need
Deere,
a
they want
trailer.
Hey,
Patsy.
it was the orange tractor.
Yeah, it's orange.
Okay, can we move on to
That's good, so-
the city hall building?
We have the funds that fits getting that building renovated.
Okay.
There's very few things that you can use that money for otherwise. The building is our building. It belongs to the county. If we decide to sell it, or somebody in this, because I won't be
I
here.
don't think you can,
Let's
let's be
can't
real
sell
clear.
it.
I think once you've renovated this using the opioid settlement funds, I think you would be very, very limited
On what you
Okay.
can do with it.
in terms of.
20 years from now, if somebody is in this office and they decide to sell that building, the building has to
I
be
think it's
standing
gonna
in
be a little
order to
early,
sell
ain't
it.
it, Zach?
Let me ask you a simple question. If we do the building, do we have the money to do the courts? Recovery courts?
The recovery courts. So, and again, I think
Waiting
that
on
question was
Jennifer.
asked.
Soon as we have that
I'll
answer
find out
tomorrow.
She's gonna get that answer tomorrow. We have a meeting tomorrow. Here's what I'd say. Our board has passed the resolution related to the Nazarene Church.
Mhm.
It has accepted a bid at a particular amount for that. I think what they would be willing to do, from what I've heard from everyone's discussion, is consider using the unrestricted category or some combination of what's remaining in the restricted and the unrestricted to fund the $30,000 request that has come in for the recovery courts from the judge. What you decide to do related to whether or not you fund the contract that my clients have already voted in a public meeting to accept, that's
Comes
your
up on the
business.
14th. We vote on that.
Did you
Okay?
guys already pass an acceptance of using it for recovery court, or do you guys have to do that?
We've not done the recovery court thing. If she tells me tomorrow
I don't know what.
that the recovery court, we have the funds sufficient either in unrestricted or restricted, I will try to get a resolution prepared before our meeting to add that to our agenda tomorrow. You guys will have to go through a process of advertising.
Probably
You can add it to the 2026 budget in that way at that time, if that's what you want to do. And I think I'm all for talking about these things. But one thing I will kind of want to make clear is I understand that there's a concern about what do we do with that building once it's renovated. But they're right. We can only use the funds for very particular purposes, okay? And they've come up with a purpose they want to use it for. Let's don't say that the money's not there. That if she says that tomorrow, that's not the basis. The money is there. If you say, well, we just don't want to do it, that's fine. That's your all's decision, but let's don't say the money's not there. If it's, we're worried about in the future, how are we going to care for this building? Again, Heather, you asked me what are to receive in 2026 related to opioid settlement. Again, this estimate that I have from 2022, $113,268.41 in abatement share and $11,257.13 in unrestricted.
For playing devil's advocate, that's not what we're showing we got, at least on the one.
Well, that was.
And that's why I'm kind of, what I'm saying is, we don't know when these funds are distributed. So, if you can figure it out.
Yet we know
Come
a
call
utility
me.
bill comes every
I'd
month.
love
We
to
know insurance comes paid. We know those things come due, but we don't know when this money is.
We don't know how much either.
And this thing's been the biggest
We
problem.
got an estimate.
Everybody looking at different
You know, when that
Well, I
bill,
things.
when that
I
bill.
don't know
is
that
done,
insurance is like something we
You're
can,
looking
we're
at
paying insurance on the
insurance,
building
$500
regardless.
million.
Does it change with what you do to it? Can you improve
Right,
it?
mine
You
goes
start
down.
putting people in it?
$50,000.
Highly doubtful that it changes the year.
That's what we're worried about. That's where we.
There's all kinds, yeah.
Like when you in my parks.
So I mean, it's legitimate.
Sure, I'm not saying it ain't, I'm just saying we've made the request, so that's where.
All right, moving on.
You
I
guys
don't have a problem with that. I
fix,
just want the other
fix the
two.
building.
What are the plans to fund the move to City Hall building?
So
Do
you
we
guys
have
can vote on that?
any?
We're not voting on it.
We don't vote
We're
on
going to fund it though.
They have a meeting
Meeting
scheduled for 14th.
This
This is a general joint session to have a discussion about particular topics. I don't know that we are planning on taking final action on anything, but it qualifies for public session because we're receiving information about matters of public concern and we're all together. There's quorums from both boards present. We've talked about doing this a number of different times and we haven't really followed through on it. I'm glad we're all here doing it.
In an effort to try to be on the same page with you guys to move forward on projects that we can and do what we can. The question is plans to fund the move to City Hall. Do we have any kind of official like building plan or an expected cost of that?
Not yet. So, I've talked with the group that's come into our meeting. They haven't they haven't been able to really finish their assessment because all the moving and going on. So they had told me today that probably wouldn't have kind of a complete estimate with our full assessment done and completed by probably late November. It wouldn't be until then late next month that we would have an idea of what that's going to cost us.
Well, is the city still paying the utilities until the end of the year?
Yes,
Okay, thank you.
we don't really have possession until next year.
January 1.
And,
That's a question we was asking too, when that's gonna take over.
and look, obviously, I think to Randy's point, we try and come up with the policies, the plans, the specifications, whatever. You guys figure out where the money is. I'll be honest with you. I don't know where the money's gonna come from. Okay, I don't know how much it's gonna cost.
I don't have any.
That obviously affects things. I don't know.
Keep in mind that that's not only for City Hall, but that's also for the courthouse as well.
Well,
The renovation
The way it
cost.
stands right now, we've got about $800,000 left after we budget what we, without any more cuts to them. And guys, it's getting mighty thin on being able to cut it.
Well, that includes the lit funds too, which we probably could not use
Right.
for the renovation.
But
It'll be a big
we're
number.
what, 650
It'll
in
be a lot.
the general fund?
I-
That's basically what we've got to do any additionals, which you decide, we're gonna start moving stuff over to City Hall, and we need $100,000 from there. That's what we have to pull it out of. That's for the entire year next year.
And we definitely cannot use the rainy day fund because we don't have enough
Right.
reserves and the special
Right.
purpose lit for the bond requirement.
So that's what I want everybody to know, is that's what the dollar figures are.
That honestly, once again, that was my little fit earlier, is that sitting in this chair, I don't think any of us on council want to raise taxes. We don't want to do a bond. That's not what I ran for this office for. Unfortunately, that's what I walked into. But when you hear, we don't need a bond, and you sit here and it's just little dollars here, little dollars here, little dollars here. It's like at home having no money in your purse, but saying, hey, honey, I just went out and bought a new outfit. So we're all on the same team, whether we want to admit it or not. We truly are. Everybody in this room is working towards one common goal, and that's to better Scott County.
That's right.
So I think we all need to understand, sometimes these decisions aren't easy, but you have to support one another and know sometimes those decisions are hard and we got to do what we got to do. So in this room, I think we all need to come to an agreement and stop kidding ourselves that we're not going to have to do a supplemental funding. Can we all agree with that?
Well, I mean,
We need a bond for the right reasons.
yes.
That's probably.
Well,
That's
we
the
can agree with that, right?
We're going, my opinion, okay, we're going out here, we're saying we're gonna get a bond for $6.4 million.
4 point.
I don't even think
How
it's
much?
right to throw numbers out right now.
Well,
Would you guys
okay,
agree?
so we're going to say, we're going out here, we're gonna get a bond for X amount of dollars, okay? Where did the X number come from? Because, and I'm also hearing that we want to use that bond money to give raises. Guys, if you got,
Cannot do that.
You can't do that. It's
We
not-
cannot-
I hope not, I hope not.
That bond, well, Randy, this is why before people speak, there's gotta be some conversation. That bond would go, a fund would be created called the sheriff's bond or the judgment bond or whatever it is. That money goes in there and it can only be spent for the sheriff's budget. Well, you can use the fees that we've already appropriated for like attorney's fees, which were 75,000. Now we got another almost $20,000 bill. Those can be reimbursed to the general fund from that fund. But the underwriter fees, attorney's fees, all that stuff can come out of that fund. Other than that, it sits there and it pays only for sheriff's budget. And if there's any money left over at 25, it reverts back to that fund and stays in that fund and can only be used for 2026's sheriff budget or 2027 sheriff's budget. You can't be giving people raises on it.
I hope
I
not.
think, well, I mean, I think that if you sit through the council
But
meetings,
so, and
you will really see my clients are very hard pressed because they're having to take people back to last year's number to even get 650,000 left in the general fund. And 2020, well, let's not kid ourselves, 2025 numbers are 2024 numbers. So yeah, they would love to be able to do something, but the numbers are not there.
Not there.
They're just not there.
and what I would say to that or on that is, regardless of the fact that I agree with Heather's recitation of where that specific money would go, okay? Obviously, if you're rolling into the 2026 year and you have a budget for the sheriff's office of X amount of dollars, right? You pull the money from that bond for that, okay? And it lessens, the money's fungible, okay? The money that we think is gonna have to come from the general fund, from the lit fund, those things, it wouldn't have to go in and fund those because the bond's gonna pay for it.
Which means we would have more, and they could do
That's what I'm saying.
raises or bonuses if they want out of the general fund,
That's what
if they have free it up, right?
That'd still be kind of.
I
Be hard
still
pressed.
think sitting in this room and saying that we're giving raises and we're doing so using a bond, I would tell you, I think that's
We're definitely not.
I'm
using
gonna
bonds.
tread into an area I don't normally tread into, which is advice that's not 100% about what you legally can't do, what you legally can't do. You'd be putting yourselves in a pretty precarious position financially somewhere down the road. You'd just be kicking the can. You truly would. Now, if you're gonna use the bond the way it's supposed to be used, I think you would be essentially releasing the pressure on a bunch of other, circumstances for departments and things where we can't figure out how to keep the lights on. Okay, that's what I'm talking about.
And every meeting I've been to, I've never one time was talking about using that for raises.
No.
Not a single time.
No, but the 650 that's in general, you could use some of that to give a bonus or something
And we might want to.
and be able to have
But we're
some
talking
kind
about-
of something to, because we have
Yeah.
bond funds, you can't say, well, I have to use that 650 to keep the lights on at City Hall. I have a small portion
It's tit for tat.
that I can do something.
We're gonna
And,
shuffle the money around.
and that's all we're playing.
But anyway, so let's get back. So we're asking for this X amount of dollars for this bond.
Yeah.
But we don't have any idea what this yet is even gonna cost us for this move.
True.
So where do we get this X amount from?
A judgment.
Well, November,
But
you know, right?
you-
And you say, yes,
again-
we'll have some better ideas in November.
I mean, I understand a
And
bond
it's just a
for trying to fix City Hall
It's a guess.
and here,
I mean.
and then
but it'll
maybe
be
a
close.
little extra for what you need to do to get by. That I understand. But to put us in a box and not get enough money to do the whole-
That we're gonna survive.
what we need to do, which I don't know what that number is either.
Right here, you wanted to get a bond that would cover the,
I'm saying you gotta get, if you're getting a bond for X amount of money, where's the money gonna come from for the renovations and fixing that?
well, first of all, we're getting a judgment bond, so we can't wrap up renovations in a judgment bond. We has to be the judgment. So, and the fees
So are we
associated
talking about two
with
different
that.
bonds?
So, yeah, you would have to do two different bonds, or because we're freeing up money, probably for $3.5 million, $4 million in general in the
And
list,
you use that.
then we
I
could
know we're
use
not-
that, just like you could use it for raises out of the general or the list.
You have to.
So it's tit for tat, right?
But
We free it up.
But the bond would, like, all the money that they have freed up, how much money have you budgeted right now, today, in 2026 for the sheriff's budget from the general fund?
4.3.
From the general,
Where am I at here?
I taught JR how to create spreadsheets.
So 185, 750 and 306, so you're looking at 490-ish,
About 500,000.
How much?
500, $500,000 roughly,
$500,000,
out of general.
okay. And then out of lit public safety,
You can't, public safety is $1.4 million.
Okay.
And another 1.1, so let's do quick math and say 2.8.
and let's just hypothetically say you roll that
Or 2.5 roughly.
500,000 over, a year or two, right, with the bond. I mean, we would be saving over a portion of time, about $1.5 million in the general fund.
Yes, and that's the whole intent.
I think where I'm most concerned of about
Yeah,
the
but I'm
sheriff's,
hearing that we've freed up more money for other things. And to me, that doesn't make sense.
But this seems like the
It'll all
same,
get spent.
the same avenue where I just got a head bit off for
If all
creating
we're talking about is
policy.
giving raises, then
Let us
I
do
would
budget.
understand where you're coming from.
I think where we really
I
need
think
to
we're
be
trying to
concerned are those two lit funds, because if we fund
This needs to be held.
the sheriff's department like we have
And
it
it won't
now,
be.
those two lit funds are gonna be way
That's
too
my
low.
fear, what he just said.
Especially special
But the problem
purpose,
is
where
you
you
guys
have
just
to take
bit my
care of
head
the
off for
jail, if there's an
creating policy.
emergency.
Let me do fiscal. I'm trying my best to work with you and get you what you need,
I'm
but
not, I'm just asking, where do we come up with this X number
right there.
whenever we still got stuff we gotta do?
But I have to
Why
have-
why don't we wait until we find out how much money we need?
So if we
That's
take-
what I'm trying to
okay.
say.
So if we take end of November and Greg comes up with X number and says, this is what I gotta have to do this move, the renovation, all done, put a shiny ribbon and cut it. You're talking 3 to 4 months to get a bond,
I mean, you can do a second bond if you have
if
to
you do that. So
Randy,
nobody can move in there till April or May of next year,
let me explain.
because that's how long we've been in this process and that's how long.
Well,
it'll take.
no, we can start moving in phases.
The
if we build
best
it right.
I understand
Yeah, we'll
this
have
bond
possession.
right now.
I mean, we can do
But we don't
well.
have money.
Speak up,
Four
John.
point six,
The problem with
whatever
this
is
is, though, I
the
mean,
amount of the
We are under
judge.
the extension mandate.
You can get the bond for that much plus whatever
Yes.
the fees and
Yes.
stuff
Now,
are.
you guys have already been down this road.
This has nothing to do with.
We all have.
Across the
all
road and got
This
the,
this is
Paying our bills.
so all
basically
this,
just
all
to
I
pay the
don't know.
bills.
I mean, yeah,
Where I
I think
differ
we
from
all-
It
everybody
works.
else in this
it
room.
works.
I'm happy to have
The mandate.
700,000 left for
I
additional
agree.
appropriations next year. We just gotta tighten our belts up and live with it. That's my thought. Everybody else thinks we got to,
Not everybody else.
most everybody else thinks we've got to borrow all this money. What Heather just explained is you can take what we're funding out of the general fund for next year. You can put that back in the general fund it out of this bond to free that money up to pay your light bill over here, or your light bill and your moving expenses and stuff over here. What my fear is of that bond is gone in 2 years and we're still paying for it for 20. That's just me.
I understand.
But that's the gist of it.
Yeah.
You're right. I mean,
You keep asking.
in theory,
what
if we
is
would do
this
it that
bond
way,
for?
that'd be great, but it won't happen that way.
That's the way.
That's the 10 people in this room's decision.
Yeah, and it's been tough. Anybody that knows me knows I about drove myself crazy.
Because
The trouble is, whenever you have money sitting, you always
You
have
spend
plenty of people who has emergencies for it.
Absolutely.
Which is exactly my point with this old
So, I
church
shut
building.
up
It's
now.
set for 10 years. We have money sitting and we're gonna put it in that
I don't-
whenever, and I understand it's what
But
we
we
wanna do.
can't
And
use
it's not
that
a
money
bad,
for
not a bad
anything
idea.
else.
Not a
I
bad
don't
idea.
think we're in this position because so many
Again,
people
the
had
church has
emergencies.
limited
I think it's
uses,
because people
right?
spent money.
I mean, the funding has limited
Yeah.
uses.
Came
I
to
see
us.
all avenues, I think.
Absolutely.
You can only
You're
spend that money
I
in
mean,
certain
it
areas.
was
The old
basically
church
appropriation
got
by
it. I'd
guns
like to
to
right
red.
there. But it isn't my priority.
But we have the money to do what.
So on
the
number
priority
five,
is,
But
right?
we gotta-
You gotta do what you gotta do,
That we
and we'll
don't.
just let it lay from there and see what happens.
I mean, if we could take that money and spend it on anything else, that would be great, but we can't.
I got a
I mean,
question.
I'll personally, I will.
It's only two pots that we can put.
I'll
Is there any
listen.
way we can get an idea, see how that they came up with the quote? I mean, to me, to renovate, that's just ridiculous. That's just so much money to renovate that. Now, maybe it's legit. I just like to see what they're spending it on.
You've
Like
got
a
the
real
quantities
estimate.
and numbers, I mean.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
mean, we
even
got,
care about that.
I don't have them with me, but they gave us a quote on exactly how much it cost.
I just like
We're
to
gonna
see
do
that.
that Tuesday.
How much was that?
Whatever.
It was three-
I heard that, I heard 360s. I don't know.
Oh, 360 is what's
I'm
left.
done fighting.
Part of the restricted. 366 was in the restricted.
When that.
I think how much
Gone,
was
it's
it?
gone.
Was it 300 and?
324.5.
324.5.
That's also come up, like we did out of general or wherever else.
To renovate
You
that.
know, right, the county.
With opioid restricted.
Okay, that's it.
Yeah.
I've not been in that.
And that was there's plans for.
Here's your- Basically, what you can use opioid restricted for
Yeah, I got
is
you
we
on
can
that,
take it and spend it in our building, or we can give it to organizations who,
yeah. Right,
that's it.
right.
And why me personally was all about fixing up our church building is because, and I'm probably gonna get in trouble and have to duck what Zach tries to swing at me here in a minute. We've had people come in here and ask for money and then they disappear and didn't do anything. So we got a bricks and mortar place over there. We can fix up a building and we can keep it and we'll have it in our county and it can actually do something to
I agree
help
with
the
you.
people in
I'd
our
rather
county.
spend money on something we're gonna see and get the people that we don't see ever again.
Exactly.
Plus,
But that's what-
Because there's no checks and balances,
I've been in the jail,
right?
and they run those programs, and they don't have any space. They don't have any privacy to talk.
Visit. You better say that, you're on camera.
Right. But
I try.
I've been toured through, and I've seen what kind of cramped conditions they have in trying to, the counselors and working with the folks.
It ain't supposed to be Taj Mahal, remember that.
No.
It's not, but
It's not.
but it's very cramped over there, and that gives them some opportunity and some privacy over there. to actually run a very more effective program, in my opinion. So it serves a lot of purposes. I think the building is unique in that sense, that it does lay out a bunch of needs that can be addressed. So that's where I'm at with the church. So
I got married there 31 years ago, so.
No kidding?
So number 5 was.
That's when the place
no
started
idea.
deteriorating.
That's when it started going down.
Like I've been saying, historic.
Well,
I've
had any confusion around it all. Just trying to figure out how we can do both these things I want to do, and it sounds like we may be able to do both.
We
It
can.
won't be much of an argument if it gets to that point.
Yeah,
That's right.
She's looking.
Yeah, I think we should be able.
it's a pretty easy deal. for
So
both.
I will say, the 800,000 that's
But
on
there will
those
be a
bottom
budget
lines,
that's
that doesn't
somewhere.
include any changes to insurance
Have to be.
either.
And that's,
So if something changes
More
there,
That
it has
also
to come
doesn't
out
like
of
the
that
next
line.
employee that
I think
gets in
you're
the car
right.
and sits in the car and kills
For
someone or
anything.
something,
Yeah.
right?
And,
I just
or
don't-
anyone who gets in,
That building's already insured.
no, I'm saying any insurance changes.
I
has to
get
come
that.
out of
No, no,
that.
no.
And
Understand that
if
we're paying insurance for that.
Right, but if someone has a collision and we get sued, it has to come out of that line because there's no money in that account either. So everything we do currently with our insurance, we don't have it.
Are you talking about the TPA?
All of that. The only, it was supposed to have,
Yeah, but
Whatever.
I think that I don't know when the meeting is, when we're to open RFPs related to.
Next week, next Wednesday.
Okay. So, it's next Wednesday? We have a meeting next week?
The 15th.
let's say those claims change or those
Yeah, but
fees change
I think we are.
5%.
They're probably gonna change. They already do.
Yeah,
Sure.
they're gonna change, but I think we are trying to go a different direction on the insurance.
Yeah.
And I understand that. I'm just saying, with what we currently have
We
budgeted,
already budgeted, so. what do you think?
anything changes, it has to come out of that 650 line right there. That's all there is.
There's money already budgeted in y'all's account for the insurance.
But what's that got to do with the church?
No, I'm
No,
just saying.
this is a different, we're saying
In
bottom
general,
line,
that's all
in general,
we
that's
got.
all we have.
Unless we do something different.
Okay.
And then can you put the judgment bond with the bond to remodel and do it all one bond, or does it have to be two
Has
separate
to
bonds?
be two separate.
That'd be two
So probably it would be a better idea to prop up the church and make sure it don't fall on somebody and we get sick.
Or if it falls, problem solved. Call some dumpsters and be
I
done with it.
do believe you'll probably run into some extra security as far as, doors, windows,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff, if we're gonna have inmates over there.
Thank you, sir.
That's all I
They'll
was
go
trying
right
to
out,
say. is
believe
that's
me.
where
Let me go to the
we're
restroom a minute and they're gone.
Then we're on America's Most.
at. Any other questions?
So I assume, Jerry.
We don't-
Down to bounty hunters with that.
Yeah, no more.
Anybody have any other questions or council want anything else? I entertain a motion to adjourn our meeting.
Wait a minute.
You had.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize you was adjourning the meeting. We've got other things that we need to talk about because,
Oh,
this
here.
stuff that we haven't taken care of.
I don't think, I only made 10 of these.
We requested a pay increase for James Carey for $1 an hour,
Can you guys pass these?
Uh,
along?
because we're gonna use him for the waste management supervisor out there.
I will say he's a good person for out there.
Yeah.
I mean, he's impressed with me.
We do that.
And just while I was in there, I just throw it out there, Walter, transfer station, I've been pretty impressed with it when I went out there. Actually looking pretty nice. And, well, I
We
see
talked
what
about this, right?
Also, the transfer station needs a part-time employee. It comes out of their budget.
Which is $130,000 on our docket to additionally fund on the 14th.
Well, the transfer station employee is only gonna be going out there whenever one of the other guys is sick. We have 2 guys per day, every day out there.
Have we all, I don't remember talking about any of this, other than opioid funds for church
Now,
renovations.
you was here?
We would have to do an additional appropriation because it wouldn't be advertised for the budget this year, but, we can do an additional. How much
Was
is?
there a dollar pay
Not
increase for
aware.
James Carey? When was that?
Last meeting, I think.
Well, we can't.
That's not aware.
When was that? The dollar, when did we bring that up in our meeting?
I
Was
can't-
it last meeting or meeting before last?
I'll have to look.
I don't remember.
I'm sorry, there's so many meetings that kind of run
Yeah,
together.
there was I was out of town the meeting before last. I've never seen that.
Is it part-time, the transfer stations, is just
It's, yeah,
starting now, starting now?
yeah,
Or is this for next year?
but look, all we have to do is add another person. It's not any more money.
They've got.
I think his question is,
He would fill in
this next year,
for sick
we were
people
told
sick
to
or
fund that
vacation.
for zero,
Yeah.
because it was gonna break even.
Right.
So is this for an additional for this year, and come January first of 2026, it's zero?
He's saying he doesn't need anything else this year because people are gonna be filling in, so it's already appropriated for this year, they'll just be paying this new person, whatever, if somebody needs to take off, instead of that person getting paid, this other person will be. My question
It's just a-
is-
it's
We're not
part-time.
changing hours of operation. We're not gonna have three people out there.
He'll
It's
fill
just
in when
so they
someone's
can
sick.
rotate around and have somebody sick, somebody needs to go on vacation.
Okay.
We
My
got somebody we
question
can
is, though,
rotate in.
Reedy, 2026, you guys have your own fund for the transfer station, right, Jennifer? We created our own fund, your own fund, but if we need to appropriate more for part-time, then we need to know that. But it sounds like we don't, that the money is fine, it's just another.
Well, we need to put a person in there, yeah, but the money is the same.
Okay, so we don't need to do anything. That's,
We just need to add a person this year.
Is that climbing? Like,
I hate to say I've not done this month yet. I was gonna try to do it tonight, but it's not looking good. Probably try to get that
Is
tomorrow.
what climbing?
Say it for another day. It was on topic.
No, but I will,
Business
and I can
out there.
email that to you.
Are
I
we
can
doing
send that
good?
an email.
We're bringing in, I'm gonna answer your question. We're bringing in a lot more money than we used to.
Good, good.
That's all that's there.
We are. We're averaging about between 700 and 1,100 or 1,200 a day.
The guys told me that they were very busy. Here in May.
And everybody goes out there actually,
Somebody
they're
better
happy.
others.
Sure.
We're gonna discuss that at tomorrow night's meeting. I know, it's kind of been my request to kind of stay any decision on that, because
It was.
one of the things that we were, dinged were kind of,
I think
from IDEM was doing things without consulting or communicating with IDEM. So I did have a meeting today, and I'm prepared to talk about this a little bit more tomorrow with IDEM.
Wait, no,
I'm gonna be putting
Oh,
an
yeah.
operations plan together
Veteran Services Office.
for them to consider. It's very similar to the current operations plan, but it just adds some of the things that they needed in there that were not in there. But it's also going to address the satellite stations. And then assuming whatever they do, I will follow up with some other recommendations that IDEM has given, those call them recommendations. If one thing they did indicate, maybe we do need to talk about this right now, is I think it's the Lexington Township site.
Lexington Ball Field.
The satellite location, if we were to close the satellites down, that the Lexington Township location would need to be, the soil would need to be remediated. What that means is we would need to remove
4 feet.
I think it's 6 inches down below the visible contamination that occurred related to, I think, truck and other kind of sitting trash. We'd need to dig down, take that dirt, and we'd have to remove it and treat it as, I think,
So
solid
it's the same
waste.
thing they did at Stacy's.
Yes.
Yes.
Where
So
you
that
Permit,
site would-
haul it on a manifest.
Yeah, that site would need to be remediated, but theoretically, we could essentially close that program down. We need to give notice, to citizens, we need to make sure that we post sufficient notices at the site that they're no longer permissible uses, and that any violation of that would be considered illegal dumping, but that's something I had planned for them to talk about tomorrow night. And I'm trying to work as fast as I
What's coming to us on the 14th
can.
is roughly $140,000 for the transfer station. Will that carry it through the remainder of 25? the additional appropriation.
I don't know where the 140 comes from.
100,000 in disposal fees,
Disposal fees.
12,000 in equipment,
We're negative in disposal fees.
11,000 in utilities. This one up here is for the scales, 19,149. So it's roughly $140,000 that's coming to us for additional appropriation on the 14th of October. Then you would request a part-time employee on top of that and then changing somebody's salary.
We're not,
He's not requesting more money for the part-time employees, it's just a fill in. Just somebody to fill in when somebody's not working, so they would just make that.
That budgeted would be there.
How do we still owe $20,000 on the scales that we already appropriated every time for the scales? I thought,
That might be the, the unrestricted?
No, that's already been used. What it was, there were extra expenditures out there. And we paid some of those because they were on credit cards and under the highway. So we're still, that's gonna be, and on the scales, that may be the actual scales itself, but it also may be the extra
Foundation.
concrete and things that was put in there to put that on. What I separated that out by, any work that was done with the scales is to the scales. Anything that was done by the IDM, which there was a lot of cost there that we didn't have at the beginning because of all
Exactly.
the extra stuff we had to do out there. That's why it'll say, IDM, okay, like you see there, it says the scales at the top, that's still, it just keeps coming back. And then this other is the IDM repairs and and general operations, and that's why you're seeing the disposal fees, 100,000.
So will that carry, I guess my question is, will that $140,000 carry it for the rest of 25? Or is it gonna need another additional?
No, it should be making its own money now. Setting aside the fact that the satellites are open and every time they go out there and dump,
Well,
That's-
just make the money, why can't we just approve that on the transfer fund?
can you pull up the 25 budget and see what we budgeted for utilities? Because another 11.2 on top of what we had.
Sure.
You know, that's not even, that don't even make sense.
One thing you're looking at there too, that's what's appropriated. The money that's coming in, that you're depositing in goes into the general fund, but that will not affect the location budget, because that money's not been appropriated.
So it went up, that was double.
I agree with her.
The money, like, where you're getting extra money, like the city of Austin and all that's collected, it's going into the general fund, but it's not ever been appropriated over to this, so it'll have to be appropriated. It's no different than, you know, like when you talk about the sheriff, the canine fund, there's money sitting there, but if it's not been appropriated to be spent, and that's the thing in this location.
so Austin's money's not been going into that bank account. Hey,
No, it goes
The
into the bank
transfer
account. Fund and bank account, different thing.
Mhm.
Fund involves
If you,
an
move
annual
all that over, what do
use
you
of
start
funds
next year with?
in a itemized budget
Zero.
with specific
Yeah, that's it,
locations.
that's the thing.
That's
You guys
if
never
you don't
approve
leave it
us
there.
to use funds that we received. If you wanna know the answer of how much money has the transfer station brought in since a specific date, you won't find
I'm
it
not
inside
sure,
of the
look,
fund.
I don't know if that includes
You'll
putting
have to go
service
look at
into
receipts
the
This
new
has
scales. I'm not
receipts
sure, we'll look and see.
into an account.
Mandy and I talked about that, but I can't tell you right off the top of the head what that goes back to. Because I know they had to move electric service to the scale, so.
So how's that one equipment line still show 25,788, 100% available to use?
Okay, that one is still on hold, but we don't have enough to make the payment for the scale. Because we've paid other, you know, the other concrete or the other items out there, so we need to pay that when you do your additional, so we can pay that off. We paid a portion of the scale.
On the other
And we
hand,
could send that out and make a partial payment.
What you're saying though too is you're getting money from the scales coming in, but it's going into the general fund and it's not actually going into this fund to pay.
Yes. That's
You're-
exactly right.
transfer station manager has $83 sitting in that line right now. That's not gonna pay anybody. And if you wanna give somebody a raise of $1 an hour, that's gonna hurt on the 83, so you need an additional already for them. Which isn't included in that, I don't think.
well, for this, yeah, we're talking next year. And it's generating its own money, so that $1 an hour you won't have to worry about.
So
coming
that
out
won't
of
go
your-
into effect at 26 for Kerry.
That's what I said next
Okay,
year.
sorry, I'm with you. What about the part-time thing? Do
The
you-
part-time guys is no more money at all, because he's just going out there and filling in when somebody's sick and somebody needs to take off or rotate around.
But we don't have any money in it to pay anybody. Right now, they're $83.
Where they get paid now?
They're gonna be unhappy Friday.
I mean, it's gone. That money's gone. I mean, that's what I'm looking at. And Jennifer's gonna get payroll and don't have any way to
I
pay.
don't know what to say, Bulls, other than I've tried to shut the satellites down because honestly,
It don't really have anything to do with the satellite. Who
It
is
does.
the,
That don't
who
cost
is the person over
$140
there
grand.
that should be looking to say, hey, where's my appropriations at? I only have $83 left to pay people.
we don't
And
have,
tell
no-
us we need an additional appropriation.
We-
So the
we don't-
commissioners, because
we
we don't
don't
have
have-
anybody.
I mean, if you had
it's never
another
been a department.
140,000,
Well, I mean,
On
somebody's not getting paid
177.
because there's $83 and we can't get another
that's
appropriation
300
until
grand.
November.
Plus the money we spent on the scales was, what, 90? We put $400,000 in the.
And satellites does matter, Heather, because,
Well, not on the transfer station
Almost
manager
$500,000 we
Right.
put out there.
yeah, because we're paying to get rid of the trash at the transfer station from the satellites. What the satellite takes in, the transfer station has to pay to get rid of.
I get that, but if you're paying someone a salary and rate of $25,000, why does it matter if they're at the transfer station or the satellite station?
That they're not at, we're paying whoever, who's at the
So we're paying
satellite.
them to go to the satellite?
No, they're not, they're only at the transfer station.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we're talking about the other thing, because I'm just saying there's $25,000 budgeted, you got $24,017, $24,917 spent.
And
I don't think that has anything to do with whether or not there's a satellite or not, right? $25,000 pays somebody, $25,000 pays somebody.
Right, that ain't got nothing, no.
Okay.
What I'm saying is the reason that we're losing money at the moment is because the transfer station has to pay for the trash that is taken in for free and pay to get rid of it at the transfer station.
Okay, I got that. I'm just worried about the $83, because somebody's not getting paid Friday.
I guess back
We
to
gotta
my
do-
question, will 140,000
An additional appropriation.
carry this to the end of 25 or?
I'll have to look and see. We looked and I think we figured that disposal fees will. If there's been any more bills come in, I'm not aware of them.
Hey Jared, go back there and see if there's any lines we can transfer by resolution so that people get paid at the transfer station.
Oh, I mean, $500 in office supplies and $800 in printing and advertising, which I don't know why we didn't use that on those signs and things that came out of paid somewhere else. 'Cause that would have made printing and advertising, I would think. And then that equipment line, there's money there, but Jennifer says she has to use that along with other money just to pay for the scales we already have. We don't have enough to pay for the scales, we don't have enough to pay
Any
for,
more for
people.
disposal fees, or I'm assuming
Well,
so,
that
right?
was in there, that was in the.
I mean, at this point, I don't know, if we could keep the transfer station open. We don't have any money for disposal fees, we have no money to pay for the scales we bought, we have no money to pay for manpower out there. And we're more than double this annual budget for the year. If we do the appropriation on the 14th.
I'm just worried about people getting paid Friday. I don't like anybody not getting paid, but they don't have the appropriation, we don't have the appropriation.
I don't like any of it, but
I know, I
keep
get where you're
spending
coming
money
from.
and spending money and we don't have
Take that
money.
7,000, move it over to
Yeah,
Yeah,
the fund.
well,
Payroll.
you can't, 'cause it's not going, is that in general? That's not in general.
It's
Yeah,
in
it's
general.
in general, it's
and
in-
it's
It's general. We can do it by resolution.
That over from the laptop.
from the,
I'm sorry.
Auction fund.
No, it's from the-
That's from
it's from
the
that paving
asphalt.
that we
Payroll,
approved.
payroll.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't know.
I don't have it.
Jared, can you make a note to do that, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, I can do that by.
Transfer it
resolution.
from where we put it in the commissioner's budget for paving and transfer it over to the line for the transfer station for the manager pay, so if they get paid Friday. Is that gonna get us through the end of the year? That means no office equipment. How much do they make and how much do we have? Can you just like tell us what we need to get through written there, you don't have to do it today.
That's what I thought we had. I know we did on the disposals, but like I said, I don't know if there's any other bills that's come in of anything else.
Well, I'm just worried about people getting paid.
Yeah.
Because that puts you in a hard place of being saying,
Yeah.
you gotta talk to your manager, because I can't write you a
83
paycheck,
bucks
because this is
ain't gonna
zero.
do
That's nine.
And I don't, that creates an emergency. We don't wanna lose, we're already not giving
I'll
raises, so
figure
you're
out
losing talent.
What they've been
anyway.
doing a week.
I don't want that.
All All right, dollar for that carry goes 26, we'll take that up. The part-time employee you would add would be out of the money we'd have to transfer. The auction fund, I guess we're gonna transfer the 7,000 to pay the people to the transfer station. Is there any kind of a deal we can work with the city to figure out these chairs and audio equipment, or?
They have to.
They have an auction, we've got to,
What do you guys have in venture? Can you use some of that to go to the auction? Do we wanna look?
Yeah.
Yeah, look at it.
Anybody have any idea what?
You know what, on that guy that came to the building, timber sale, that stuff came to the building? You got chairs and all that timber sale, or you out here? I mean,
I did.
they've sold budget.
he, and I even asked him, hey, could we purchase that outside the auction? That way that you guys, we don't have to move it, you guys don't have to move it. He said, no, the council said they had to have an auction, so.
What's that called, Jim?
Venture trucking.
Venture.
It'll be under secondary rental. I think it's-
Oh, is it?
Is it 90?
Rental proceeds.
And I get we have chairs here,
Yeah, I've been trying to
this
figure out.
court, I'm assuming this is gonna be a courtroom. They'll need chairs, these chairs.
Verizon Tower.
Yeah.
This is.
Percentage of the sales to the county that's taken.
Uh,
I know.
That's a timber fund.
Gotcha. Appreciate it.
That the commissioners.
Well, I'm hoping we'll get them leather chairs for about the same price we have the paper lawn
That's
chairs.
mainly what I'm looking for.
Well, I think it's a
Proceeds.
I think it is.
I got it. Jen, I got it.
Now, we have to run.
9269 is the other one. I got it. Give me 2 seconds.
I was trying to sleep out behind.
What is the auction, Randy?
The 26th, which is a Sunday.
Sunday?
Yeah.
Is it gonna be like a bid auction, people there, or you just gotta turn a bid in and get them?
I think everybody's just gonna show up and bid on.
So
$9,000.
the vertical,
Vertical is
the
the,
tower has $9,900 in it that we
How
can,
much?
9,900
Is there anything waiting to come out of that?
should be.
nothing's been appropriated on.
Nothing's been
Okay.
appropriated out of
I
that.
thought we were appropriated some this year out of it.
We did.
That's not venture.
Let me ask you this. Why don't you move that over into the
It
labor?
just says rental proceeds.
Hold on.
That was different.
Venture showing
Venture is where we have the truck.
22,536. Venture trucking, $22,536.
You can use that for your auction fund, Randy.
Yeah, I don't care which one we use for an auction fund. But to be honest with you, I'd like a couple of you guys from the council to show up the day of the auction.
Now, let me ask this, how do we do this? Do we do this by credit card, Jim, at the auction, and then use this money to pay that credit card? Because we're gonna have to do some
Should be able to get a number of bid, get them
advertising.
a check within the next.
Is there anything unappropriated out of
Because
that?
that being a government auction, you should
You have a
have
budget?
a check right then and there, I don't think.
Neither one of these would have a budget. The one's new.
And I think with the credit card, you would
This
have a
year.
fee to go
Yeah,
with that.
10%.
Well, first of all, Zach's clients need to do a vote of how much up to
They wanna use.
they want to spend on those kind of supplies. Then it would go to Jennifer to advertise for an initial appropriation from that fund in November. However, my understanding is the auction is
But they're having a meeting tomorrow,
before then,
so
but we can't get it advertised and appropriated before then.
no, but we could agree on the up to amount and advertise and appropriate if we're all in agreement, right?
Yeah, but we can't purchase without money in the fund.
Technically, no. The legal answer is no. You
No.
cannot spend funds that are not appropriated. You cannot ask for forgiveness. You have to ask
Using-
for funds.
I mean, at this point, if you're going to an auction, you're gonna use a credit card with a 2%
Oh,
fee.
I can't wait better out of that suit.
I mean, that's the reality. There's no other way to
I'm gonna leave it right.
do you, I mean,
I understand what you're saying, but there's no money that's appropriated for any.
We have a lot of credit on a credit card that we can use, up to, including these funds to pay that credit card.
And they can agree that Randy can spend up to $10,000 on that credit card, but when the bill comes to Jennifer, where does she pay it from? Because it's not appropriated.
But, right.
I have sufficiently advised,
You think that's how much?
do it however you want.
I don't,
I don't
I'm just
like
trying to
it.
figure out a way to make this work for them.
I mean, I don't,
What you're saying is there's nothing appropriated anywhere.
All right, how about, question, how about their budget? If we go there and look, I could transfer money in a resolution to equipment line. And make it legal.
Perfectly wonderful.
Perfectly legal. Stand by.
But the whole reason is that they wanted to use the transfer, they wanted to use funds they already had.
I get it.
But I mean, let's see
I
what
ain't
they
got
got.
time to do it.
But I mean, when we looked last time,
We can take.
for the
that.
paving, there wasn't enough.
Should we be able to take the money, if they use their money out of their budget, can we just take money out of that trucking fund and put it back in their budget for the rest of it?
Can't,
They can't legally
not by
advise
fund, you would have to appropriate,
Is what I'm-
reimburse.
is what I'm
I guess you
gathering.
could reimburse technically, I don't know, you know.
you to do it.
I think we
You'd have
could
to look at
easily
it.
advise you.
Just go where I live and
Make a donation.
Yeah, I don't wanna do that.
Well, I guess you could.
I'll back you.
I'm just trying to figure out a way to make it happen for them
Yeah, he'll
if
come
possible, but
by.
I'm not willing to do anything that's not
Time either.
legal.
I'm sorry.
I just,
About it, so, yeah.
I mean, I understand the reason for being there and I wanna try and make it work, if at all humanly possible.
The other day, and I was like, well, guys, we gotta start doing
Take it out of that restricted
public
fund.
hearings.
How much
before
do you
this
need?
operation. I'm like,
How much do you need?
I'm like, Scott, I've been doing it.
I know.
That would need to go through.
Give me a number. To find.
I'll go for it.
Yeah.
I'm like, gee, I've been here, and I'm like, it's.
Will you go to jail for it?
let's say $8,000, but it ain't gonna be that much.
We can start
Just to be safe, we can
advertising
be
everywhere.
up to
Go through the newspaper.
that anyway.
No.
So that's why I'm asking somebody from the council to
If
go
you
with me.
do it, I'll have to look at it. The-
Well, kick you.
I mean, well, I mean, you know, I just,
I'm putting it on the internet and
I think
the
it's
three public
there's somebody
places.
there. I'll-
Okay.
I'll go with you.
But I could look at that too. because there is a
I love
publication
auctions
about
anyway.
it. They did change that.
I can't go, cause I'll buy some stuff. and
I
get
think 9 o'clock or
myself in
something.
trouble.
That's what I'm saying, I'm gonna buy my stuff they don't need. Yep.
All right,
You got an equipment line you can visit.
I mean, I haven't seen the chairs. I haven't
Yeah.
pulled them out, looked at them,
Just
and
take it
seen
out
the
of Zach's
condition of them. I don't know
Yeah.
what they're gonna go for.
he was
I know
willing to
that
give
them-
up the other day, from what I understand.
I think you're gonna have to. pay
And
me.
not that we would necessarily buy those chairs if we was purchasing new, because I think they're about $1,000 a piece.
I mean,
So I don't think we would ever buy that type of
That's
chair,
a housing there.
but we can get them for pennies on the dollar.
They're in pretty good shape.
Yeah.
I've seen them last
The backs look good, but I've never pulled the seat out and looked at the rear.
And so,
The
the one I'm seeing that I would be willing to use is burial and stone setting. You can maybe get through the next 60 days without $9,400. You
What is
use
that?
$600. I mean, if you took 8,000, that would leave 1,400. Statistically speaking, you've spent less than a third of that in the whole year. You can move that to,
Equipment. Do you have an
I
equipment?
don't think they have an equipment.
Office supplies?
Office supplies is what I was thinking. Move it to office supplies. and
Yeah,
then
I don't
Out of
think it
that.
Zach,
classifies
speak please.
equipment, would it?
Huh?
It
I mean, I
probably
don't
would
think
classify as
we're not
equipment.
purchasing.
You're buying office supplies.
Yeah, we're not buying trucks.
Yes.
And, you
You're
know,
buying office related equipment.
And Terry should have gave us, and I go on record saying that on the camera.
Now, I would say that's the only place I would, we can look anywhere else, but if that's what we want to do as a group, that's the legal way to do it, I think, and the right way to do it would be
Would
move
you guys need
that
that?
line
legal.
I assume that
legal and right's the same thing in my mind.
we need these chairs and all that
It's
stuff.
something that-
Well, it's not you have any.
Or you're gonna buy new ones when you get there.
Well, I'm asking, are we just gonna take over what we got?
Well, I think all this is gonna be left here for judge,
It's gonna be what?
left here for the judge.
there are some things that we would probably move,
I don't know.
right? But I don't know, we could occupy a larger space.
For the end of the year.
I think there are things that we're gonna need to buy. I think that's fair.
Okay, I'm just, That seems
Where are we
like
gonna
we want to
store
take over
those?
as much as we could, not have to buy it anymore. we could.
Well, I mean, this is,
And that's-
Are you talking about?
Oh, they're at the city hall already.
I'm talking about anything they got to sell.
that room over there is 3 times the size of this.
Will you do that?
Yeah, I get it, but they're just not leaving any of it for us.
No,
No, that's what he just said.
I just
Really
think
nice,
it's-
yeah.
no.
That would have been nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah, they should.
No.
Is that
The
what,
council,
And
their
there's some
council is
compliance
saying they
stuff
have
that
to
the
auction
mayor
it.
said's still
Uh,
really good shape.
so we're gonna
it'd be worth
do-
us probably looking.
is that what everybody in this room wants to do?
I said I'm okay with that.
Say it again.
Is that what we want to do? Do we want to move $8,000 from burial and stone setting, which currently has $9,400 into it,
That would be six.
to, we've used 600 so far the year. So that would leave, in theory, plenty of money there, allowing this board the ability to go there in good faith,
I'm fine with that.
bid up to.
Yeah, 8,000.
All right, then I'll do a transfer resolution for that money, and it'll, at our meeting, we'll vote on it, give our final okay, and we'll get the transfer to office supplies,
When's your office?
14th.
Okay.
That's not till the
That's not
26th.
till the 26th.
So we're doing 8 or
We'll
9?
discuss.
You said at 9.
Okay.
I'd like to leave something there just in case.
No, I just, I wanted to find out.
If you're good with that.
I think that ought to be good.
Then I think if you get hit with some kind of a burial or stone setting, some issue at a cemetery that John went and found that cost us money,
We can transfer.
then we can have some money there to work
We will
with.
have to. Probably after the-
Yeah.
I get it.
Right now,
I
the
get it.
only thing I think,
But I
Don't you bring up that church again, I already marked it
the only
off.
thing I think we're interested in is the chairs
I mean,
and maybe some audio equipment.
But I think we just need to go look and see what's over there.
They, and I'm not making this list, all right? What I'm saying is, if you guys think there's something else we need, maybe you guys need to go by the city and see what they got. They've got filing cabinets, they've got,
How do we
You
get
can
in
go
there?
any day time, like it's.
Yeah, that should be open.
Yeah.
to us.
Everything that's.
They allow us to
somebody
do it.
over there.
now, all the equipment is at
Science.
the science park.
Oh, okay.
It's in the
But,
So,
so it's all been,
next question before it comes up, how are we moving it from the science park back to here? And can we store it in there if we buy it?
Randy's gonna haul it.
Yeah. that's
Can we
good.
store it in there though? I mean, we don't have to
Yeah.
buy storage or none of that. We can put it back in there if we buy it.
Yeah.
I think we could. If not, we could do it at John Jones.
Yeah, we've got.
Okay, all right. I just don't want to be like, oh, by the way, we need now $4,000 to store it or something.
No,
All right.
we can rent space for $5,000 a month from city.
Yeah.
Killing me, Smalls. All right, so the only thing you haven't talked about is we kind of did, the full-time groundskeeper, highway department, that's off the table, right? We talked about that one, we're not doing this on
That's
your
all,
list,
yeah.
full-time groundskeeper and highway
Are
department
you,
helper,
where'd we go with that?
We
back
put-
onto you all.
Yes, that's on y'all. 'cause we gonna-
Those two departments both are under your all's privy.
They're saying basically,
We're going to fund.
you
both
look
of
at
them.
those two funds, or I thought we were talking about combining them.
Yeah, we are.
We're talking about whatever you want to do, I just need a budget for
We
you.
submit a budget to
that's
them.
not over that total amount February after.
Yes.
And.
What are you laughing at me for?
Oh, no, I'm laughing at Greg.
Oh, okay.
So either way, whatever.
Yeah, okay, moving
All
on.
Any other questions?
So, yeah.
I think that covers everything.
Everybody good? I'll entertain a motion to adjourn council.
Motion.
Motion from Liberty, second by Richie. All in favor? Give me 1 second. All 7-0 on it. It's, Lisenby motion
LIZ.
and Richie second.
Jared, go up.
Go up.
Instead
Well,
of,
we're hugging here in a minute. I can go out here.
I don't think we can.
Hey, we still got budget.
I ain't hugging you. You got a rubber.
Oh, they're still in session.
We still
Hey,
got
do you guys
budget.
want to close? You
Uh,
guys-
I'll, accept a motion to close the commissioners portion of this meeting.
Make a motion.
I'll second.
I'll make that unanimous.
That's all good along. I like it.
Can't do that, man.
Bringing me on your guys's.
All right.